Should be live.
All right, we need a brief recap from Nick done last week.
Alright, so last week we went to compete in the Army Navy Games. It was Team Lazuli against Team Jiren. Through some questionable planning by Hunk, as well as some clutch plays by Julius, Team Navy emerged victorious with a clean 3-0 sweep. Afterwards, everyone went out to celebrate, and well, now everyone's just hanging out back at Raven Rock, waiting for what comes next.
So Pequod starts in the room this week. She's come into the room. She's just come into the room. You two are doing whatever you choose to do. Pequod has a bunch of laundry in her hands, in a basket, and she begins folding them and putting them away. And she is doing both of your laundries for you. So
I appreciate that, Pequod. Thank you.
she looks up and smiles at you. No problem, Ash. As she continues to fold your laundry, she lifts up a pair of underwear and she folds it and says, Ash, these were hard to clean.
Right.
Did you shit yourself last week when Commander Jiren was chasing you by chance, Ash?
Not that I know of.
She folds them, collects all your whites and other colors. I mean, it's military gear, so you don't have a lot of stuff. And she puts them on your bed for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Julius's, she begins folding Julius's, and she, so, now this is the name for the machine. It's based after Mark. She clears her throat. So, Game Man 3000, and she looks over at Julius and blinks twice.
Yeah, what about it?
I'd like one, and she taps her foot and crosses her arms.
I know.
And why don't I have one yet?
You'll see.
I'll see. She begins folding Julius's laundry. Continues folding Julius's laundry. Looks over at Ash. Ash, would you get me a Game Man 3000?
If I could find where to find one, possibly.
Julius wears it, Ash.
I even asked Lazuli where to find one. She said they're very rare.
I'm sure that looks over at Julius. We can find one for you.
That would be nice.
I mean, we were able to track down a kid being held by MaxTech. I'm sure we could find a gaming console.
When you mention that, she kind of looks down at the laundry she's folding, and I wonder whatever happened to that kid.
I do too. The Arcane Council took him.
Her.
Her. But that's all I've heard. I'm sure that she's in good hands. But I don't know.
We should ask that guy in the gas mask and Icy.
It's a good idea.
Right as she says that, you hear, a messenger sound pop up on her wrist computer. And Julius, you notice she's talking to somebody named Icy Arcane Council Sucks username. And Pequod begins typing something to her. Apparently they keep in contact a fair bit these days.
So, did you make her that fireman's calendar of Julius as a reward?
Oh, not yet. Not yet. I'm getting to it. I don't want to upset that hunk guy. I can't have too many pictures that are too risque. And she looks over at Julius. She is still 17.
So an 18th birthday present, I assume?
Perhaps. What were you going to say, Julie? Julie.
You still there, man?
Did I kill him?
Might be internet stuff.
Bubbanet. B-net.
Oh.
Give him a a second.
Yeah, I will.
Julius. I hate Julius. I really hate.
I really do. Well, so it's not just dead air. I mean, I better keep talking. Well, I don't know. Seems you've been making good friends with, Icy.
Well, we did kind of share something in common, that being Julius. And honestly, I think, albeit she's a little rambunctious, she has a good head on her shoulders.
Agree, she's a good kid. Needs a bit more seasoning, but I think she'll be a fine young soldier someday.
I am shocked, Agent Hunk. That's that guy's name, right? And she looks over at you.
Yes, it is.
Has not died of a heart attack.
He very nearly did on our mission with him.
Oh, the one I was grounded. And she rolls her eyes and huffs a little bit.
Trust me, you got off lucky.
How so?
Because I nearly had a heart attack too.
Why?
Because there was a rambunctious, powerful child running around, getting herself into dangerous positions and ignoring orders.
Sounds about right. She's slated to take over Hunk's team someday.
Dear Lord, that'll be incredible. You know,
Julius did.
you know, speaking of teams, I wonder what it's like to be on one of those teams.
I mean, I hear it's pretty cool for the most part. You spend a lot of time in deep space, pretty much out of communication range. Apparently, they have some of the coolest ships in the galaxy, most advanced ships. A lot of old tech, too, older ships, pre-Calamity War, brought up to modern standards. It's a hard lifestyle, from my understanding, but pretty cool, all things considered.
I'd say so. People have said that in some ways Calamity War tech is just as advanced as what we have now, and in other ways, woefully behind.
I think in terms of energy consumption, it's well ahead. In other ways, it's behind.
Makes sense.
Tell me something, can you see the Fire and Ash text channel?
Yes?
What about now?
Yes?
Damn it. Alright.
Julius messaged me, said his Wi-Fi died.
That's okay, I'm taking time to fix something.
Oh, is he alive?
Fixing. I am fixing stuff. Click. Okay then. Let's see here. Take off your Nick rank. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Wonder.
Guess the
wonder
colonel
what I
came
want.
for his Wi-Fi.
Tessin what? Hund.
Yeah, well.
Okay, now let's see here. Now when I remove this rank, you should not be able to see it.
Let's see. Nope, can't see it.
Okay.
Now I can.
Yeah, I gave you your rank back, so Will shouldn't be able to see it. Not that it matters, but... You enjoy all the Julius, that's why. Nick, Baba, and Julia.
Nick, Baba, and fucking Julia.
Tessin, Baba, and Julia.
Candor.
Personality changes when he puts the demon war paint on.
Woo! Yes!
Woo hoo hoo. Yes.
Says he reset the router, seeing if that fixes it.
Bubba Cola, Coca-Cola. Bubba buy that Disney cell.
Yeah, he did.
Nice.
There was a couple others that were like concept pages from books that were with it, but that was the big one.
Nick, I will not bring my Pokemon cards in to sell you, Nick. I'd rather kill you.
Exactly.
You guys have gotten some cool cards in recently. I do think the Pokemon bubble is starting to deflate. Slowly.
It is. There are some that are still going up, like Delta species have all jumped within the last month or so. But other than that, it's going down.
Yeah, I hate how these. I think for the most part it's a good thing, but I hate how these like content creators basically turn a lot of these collectible markets into like the stock market almost, where things rise and fall like crazy. It was not like that.
Yeah.
15 years ago, 10 years ago, it wasn't like that. It was like, if a price for something was there, it pretty much stayed the same. Now, like, somebody makes a video on Gold Star Charizard, and it's already a retardedly expensive. I own one, for God's sakes. It's already retardedly expensive. Now it's like triple the price, just because some guy made a video that has 1 million followers. So
Yep.
I don't like that.
Ooh, you back, Julius?
Yeah, sorry.
He leaves.
Okay. Continue, Nick. I don't remember what I was talking about before I went on my tangent about Pokemon.
So, you were about to say something about the birthday. The 18th birthday, Julius?
Oh, I said, yeah, please don't. She's only 17, and he went back to read his book.
Pequod nods, waiting till 18th birthday, for sure, don't worry. However, maybe I'll make my own fireman's calendar as she's scrolling through pictures on her wrist computer, awaiting her response from icy arcane councils.
On the topic of birthdays, Pequod, you've known Saris for longer than we have. Do you know what hers is, by any chance?
She looks at you blankly. I don't, actually. I Commander Integra and her, if they did celebrate it, never celebrated it with me or my knowing of. I honestly don't, Ash.
That's what I was afraid of, because that means I'm never really able to ask her. There's always something preventing me from getting a chance. So it's either wait until then and hope I get to her before it comes, or risk my life and ask the commander.
She nods her head, or Lazuli.
I think I might be able to get away with that one, although
Or Blaze.
that's the best choice. I didn't even think about that. That's very good. I need to know her birthday. One, because if I'm going to be in this relationship, I should probably remember important dates. And two, I need to know her birthstone.
Pequod sits down next to Julius after folding all of his clothes and putting them away for him. Why?
Well, let me show you. Remember how I asked Blaze for silver?
Vaguely.
Well, and he's gonna type on his wrist computer and pull up. I'd assume he'd have written up like little sketches and plans for what he's building.
Yeah.
And he pulls up the sketches of it. I'm making her a necklace And the pendant is going to be a rose with her birthstone in the center, two small fangs coming from the bottom, and my birthstone, a sapphire, held in the fangs.
She blinks at you blankly, looks over at Julius reading the book. What book is Julius reading?
It's a book on alchemy.
She grabs it and rips it out of Julius's hands and says, "Why don't you do anything like that for me?"
Because I can't?
She grabs Julius's collar and starts squeezing it and pulling him closer towards her.
Yeah, okay, I understand. You got it, babe.
You know,
She lets go.
if you ever want to learn how, I'd be glad to teach you how to forge.
I don't know. Forging isn't really my thing, man.
It's really not that hard. This is a more simple die casting job. You take a small type of sand or clay, you make the die, and then you pour the liquid metal inside of it. It's relatively simple. Making the chain, that's the difficult part. Very tedious and time-consuming.
Maybe we... As he tries to take the book back from Pequod.
She hands it back. Hands it back to Julius so he can read his alchemy as she crosses her arms and looks at Ash. That's very sweet, Ash.
Thank you. I don't know. She makes me happy, and it's the least I can do to try to make her as happy as she makes me.
Before Julius can open the book, she hugs Julius and says, "Oh, we know she makes you happy. Oh, gods of this moment!" And she's trying to imitate you. Poorly, albeit, but yeah.
Julius gives her a hug. Oh, gods, if this moment could last forever, my love.
He's just gonna laugh at it too. It was kind of a funny thing to say, wasn't it?
Pequod looks at you. It took some guts to say it in front of Lazuli.
I'd assume if she was gonna kill me for something as small as that, she'd have done it by now.
No, I think it only made her want to lose her guts.
Pequod nods in agreement.
Wonder how she'd react if Hunk said it to her.
Pequod looks at you. Probably beat him up.
Probably.
At this time, there's a knock at the door, and you hear Rob's voice. "Is anything weird going on in there?"
Nah, you're safe.
Just to be sure, please open the door from the inside.
Ash is gonna hit the button to open the door.
He has his hands over his eye visor on his mask. "Are you sure? I'm trusting you."
Everyone's fully clothed.
Takes off, removes his eyes. Commander Integra would like to see you. Fully clothed and operational. And it seems like you're ready to go, so... right this way.
Got it. Thank you, Rob.
Pequod sticks her tongue out at him as she walks by.
Julius will pat him on the shoulder.
You hear him mumbling to himself as you walk by. How did he pull her? I don't understand. Get into Commander Integra's office. Spins around in her chair. Mission time, boys and girl.
Yes, ma'am. What do you have for us?
Pretty simple task, Fire and Ash. So, she walks down here, pulls up holograms on her computer so you can see. You can just, whatever you choose doppelgangers to look like, your choice. I prefer the first picture and then the far left depiction of them myself. But the choice is yours. So she pulls up 2 holograms of 2 doppelgangers, puts her hand down. This one on the right is named Keeper 1. This one on the left is named Keeper 2. They were doppelganger agents working in EarthGov SIS. As of 48 hours ago, they stole classified documentation. Advanced weaponry. Has something to do, the details are sketchy even to me, but as far as I know, blueprints for an advanced form of railgun technologies, greater than that of the Mac cannons EarthGov currently has in its arsenal. They stole it, and from what we can gather, they're trying to sell it to the highest bidders. They've made their way to a small planet. It's a moon of Jupiter called Europa. Ring any bells?
Wasn't there a movie on that one?
She looks at you. I don't watch movies very much, Julius, but perhaps.
I've heard the name, ma'am. Not very familiar with the moon itself.
The moon itself has been recently terraformed. The water there is rich with thousands of different types of minerals, not found here on Earth or in most places in the Milky Way galaxy. That being said, there's a small independent, not EarthGov, colony set up on a small river. They call it Watertown. Very simple. 2 ways in. A bridge, and then another bridge, and then a small town. The population is no more than 40 to 50 individuals. Again, let me repeat myself. An independent colony. That means there's not going to be anybody out there to help you with the exception of, and she points to Pequod, who hopefully stays on the vertebrate. Pequod looks at Julius and shakes her head no. Commander Integra sighs a little bit and says, High Command would like these individuals, doppelgangers, brought back alive if possible, dead only, she looks at Ash when she says this, if necessary. Is that understood?
Understood, ma'am. I'd assume that we should probably assume these people are trained and dangerous combatants, correct?
I would assume so, Ash, and she pulls up their dossier, and you can see it. They're intelligence gatherers. They're not fighters. Doppelgangers are very good at espionage. Hiding, subversion, sabotage. Straight up fighting, not so much. I honestly don't think they would put up much of a straight up fight to you or Julius. That being said, let me one more time make this clear. Alive if possible, dead if necessary. The last thing EarthGov wants, Private Valorius, is some EarthGov troopers rolling up and shooting up an independent colony. That does not look good. And killing these two, by all accounts. They stole classified documents, yes, but that does not put them up for execution. Understood.
Understood.
Only kill them if you need to.
Understood, ma'am.
Very good. Then you better hit to it.
Yes, ma'am.
Pequod's vertibird can get you to Europa, albeit it'll be a little slow, but all intel suggests they are there. One last warning before you leave. This will be the first mission that anything like this has been going on. Apparently, EarthGov is very impatient when it comes to this. These classified documents, very important, understandably so. That being said, there is a bounty out on these two. Bounty, as in the Bounty Hunters Guild located on Gateway Station. Do you know of it?
Heard of it, ma'am.
You might not be the only horses in this race. And if you're not the only horses in this race, try to work amicably with any bounty hunters chasing these two down. If you cannot, so be it.
Understood, ma'am. I'm sure if somebody is working for that guild, they must be at least somewhat reasonable.
She blinks. Maybe.
That sounds confident.
She walks up to the computer. Any other questions before you go as Pequod starts running out to prep the vertibird for spaceflight?
No, ma'am. Nothing about the mission.
Okay. Dismiss.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Pequod is in the vertibird making final preps. It's going to be a slow trek. The vertibird can go into 0G, but it's going to be a lot slower than Sasha's dropship. That being said, if there's anything you want to do or anything like that, prep, anything like that before you go, you have some time while she's working. She's furiously working.
Looking at what I've got, I don't think I need to resupply on anything, so I think I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm gonna take the TMP with on this mission, just letting you know.
Okay. All right, one sec. So personally, I do not like this map. That being said, does not matter until the next game, which we have the map selected for that and in the game module already. So you take off, you hit escape velocity, boom, you're in space. As you pass Gateway Station, Pequod longingly looks at it, thinking about Sasha, and you hear Pequod mutter, "I wish she could have came with us on this mission."
Yeah, she's pretty cool.
She is. Very good person.
Honestly, Ash, Pequod looks at you. I figured if anybody you were going to try to date, it would have been her. You guys are, she puts her fingers together, a lot of like gun freaks, overcompensating, only she's way more funnier than you.
But we know that's not the case. I mean, gods of this moment.
She starts laughing again.
You know, in a different world, maybe. Just was something about Saris that drew me to her.
It's at this time you notice Pequod's watching a playback of Gods of this moment, but she's trying to hide it behind Julius and show Julius.
You don't have to hide anything, trust me. I could take a little bit of joking at my expense. It is funny.
She pulls it out so you can see it in full view, and she points out, and she can zoom in on the video, look at Laslie's face, and you see a face of pure disgust on her face.
He's just gonna laugh really hard. Like, belly laugh at it.
She pans the screen, and Blaze has a huge smile on his face.
It really is like parents, isn't it? One parent disgusted at the public display of affection, and the other ecstatic about it.
Never thought we would have come this far, as she puts it on autopilot and leans back in her seat, puts her hand on Julius's leg. I remember when we first went to Laslie. I thought she killed Julius.
I thought so too.
She got really close to killing both of us. It was.
Who got the worst beating between the two of you?
Ash.
I
You
got
got both
both
of his
arms.
shoulders dislocated.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's a separating the wheat from the chaff type thing. If somebody's willing to come back after the first few weeks with her, they've got something. You know what I mean?
I always thought it was my snacks that won her over myself.
Maybe for you. It also probably was your charming personality.
Damn right, Ash.
I'm surprised at how far we've come to. I'm happy about it.
I honestly thought you two were the weirdest people I've ever seen in my life the first time we met. Back on Raven Rock's helipad.
Well, I mean, with as far as we've come, that doesn't necessarily mean that isn't the case.
Well, I still think you're weird, Ash. Julius is my kind of weird.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
She coughs into her hand. Game Man 3000.
He rubs his face. Yeah, I know.
Hey, I'm happy to be the weird one for you.
She looks over at you. Oh, my vampire darling.
Yeah.
You know, I've been reading up on this alchemy. Maybe I can make a couple sleeping potions so I can actually get some sleep at night.
Which of us is that directed at?
You, Ash.
I do not call her every night, and I'd say your extracurricular activities, looks at Pequod, looks at him, are probably what's keeping you up more.
No, it's the frickin'. And I love you for this reason, and I love you for that reason. And oh my god, are those your eyes? I haven't seen them in 5 years.
Pequod laughing hysterically.
Hey, you get to have the person that you love every day. I get to talk to her maybe once or twice a week.
Fair enough, Ash. Pequod does sympathize. Fair enough. Still, it's really funny. My beauty, I love you!
It is. It is. I don't know. Not used to it. The way being around her makes me feel. But I like it.
Julius rolls his eyes and pats his shoulder. Eh. Yeah, I know. You said it was like your first time dealing with that sort of thing, right?
Yes, Saris is the first person I've ever really had any romantic feelings for.
Pequod looks at you and cocks her head. You never had a girlfriend before, Ash?
No.
There wasn't someone dumb enough on that independent colony with airships to fall for you? And she blinked.
Well, like I said a few weeks ago when talking to Sasha, I spent 18 years as a slave. Not really a chance to fall in love there, and then 4 years of just doing whatever it took to get by until I ended up here.
The slavery thing does strike me strange. I believe you, though. It's just, it had to be somewhere far, far out in the stick. EarthGov's done a good job at abolishing the vast majority. There was quite a bit of slavery activity post-Calamity Wars, but EarthGov stepped that out pretty quick. And they're pretty proud of it too, Ash.
They should be. And, it's a pleasure to be able to work alongside a group that does that. It sucked. It was hard and dark, but it made me. Without that, I wouldn't be here right now with you two, and Saris and Lazuli. So I'd say, all things considered, that part of my life was not for the best, but ended up for the best.
Pequod kind of looks out into the window into space, so we would actually get sleep.
All right. I'll go and call her from a different room at night. All right.
You should call her from Commander Integra's office.
I'd rather survive.
No, but just imagine it. You spinning around in her chair while you're whispering sweet nothings to Saris as Integra walks in. Oh, it would be a beautiful scene.
Pequod pretending to smoke a cigarette. You could even smoke one of her cigarettes while you do it.
Smoking. I have tried that. Don't know how she can do that.
Imagine Saris and Ash's wedding reception. Commander Integra will walk Saris down the aisle, hand her over to Ash. Weird.
She says wedding, and you see Ash's face immediately turn a bright shade of red. Imagine that.
What are you gonna do? When they say I do? Are you gonna gods of this moment and grab her?
Thinks for a sec. No, I'd probably wait until after the kiss for that. With a shit-eating grin on his face.
Imagine.
But, if you do that, I'm gonna. I'll kick your ass if you do that.
I mean, I wouldn't be lying.
Imagine if Commander Integra got her Ash's private calls to Saris leaked to her. She just looks out the window. Maybe a Game Man 3000 could prevent that. Leans back into her chair.
I know. I'm sure that between Julius and I, we can find you one. It's alright. And you're unlikely to get one if I don't survive the week.
Oh, are you saying Julius can't do it by himself? And she looks over at Julius.
No.
I very much can't.
No, I'm saying that if that were to happen, I'm not sure if Integra's wrath would stop at me.
I think she's pretty chill with us. Looks over at Julius. As long as we keep it to the private barracks.
Yeah, no PDA. That's her whole thing.
Not outside the barracks, no. No.
I'm sure you could get away with it on the ship.
Well, I would hope so. And probably around Lazuli. But I don't think you and Saris are so lucky yet.
Not yet, but I'm sure I'll win the commander over eventually.
You better, as The cockpit makes a sound. She changes some gears and buttons, and you set down. Now. So, you set down here. Right here. Vertibird's a little bit of ways out of the way in the back. As you're leaving the Vertibird, Pequod says, Ash, no talking. Julius, I'm going to go shopping. I'll be in the commercial district. She's looking at a scan of the colony. There's some small stands, arts and craft, food stands, produce, stuff like that. I'm going to go shopping. No, Ash, you can't stop me, nor do I care what you think. You guys go ahead on your mission. I'll be in the market if you need me. But I'll be behind you guys. I have to find my wallet. And she's going through the cockpit and all these other places.
Okay. Why does she think I was gonna stop her?
I don't know. Sometimes you can be a stick in the mud.
Agreed! As she says, she hears it, just barely hears Julius say that, and says, agreed.
Since when?
Since always. All right. If you do go out of the Vertibird, just stay safe, okay?
Wilco!
We need to get her in some better armor.
Probably a smart idea. All right. Come on.
Alright.
So, I'll put this in the fire now. Now, he does not have white hair. He has brown hair. But I'm not going to spend 25 hours fighting with Wonder AI. You see a man that looks just like that. Big revolver on his right thigh. Big ass revolver on his right thigh. And what looks like some type of collapsible shock baton on the other thigh. Face mask, bandana, brown hair, and no, he does not have an eye patch like that stupid picture came out. But anyway, he's just conversing with this man who is an elf. They're conversing, and as you guys come up, you just hear them making small talk.
Alright. I'm gonna look him up and down.
His back's to you, so he's talking to this guy, and this guy's talking to him. They're, in conversation. Very animated, throwing their hands up, having not a good time, just discussing things.
Can I hear anything in particular about the conversation?
Sounds like talk of EarthGov recent news. Stuff like that. Like he's just talking about, politics, nature of that. What you would see headlines on the ENET, because this is an independent colony. So, if they don't have like a beacon for the ENET set up here, they probably can't get to it. Unless they get on a ship that, yeah.
Okay. Walk up. Good day.
The elf looks up at you. Howdy do. The man turns around. Well. Look what the cat dragged in. Moves right up over here. You can infer this guy's probably just like the lookout, watching for wildlife, and the guy who sees people into the city. He kind of steps aside. Who are you two?
My name's Asherion. This is Julius.
Julius and Asherion moves in between you guys. You see, you have the tusk, correct, on your helmet,
Yes.
Ash? You see he kind of touches it with his finger, runs his hand mockingly down your shoulder armor, looks over at Julius, kind of leans in, kind of pokes his necklace. What are you guys supposed to be?
Just passerbys.
Passerby with EarthGov gear, huh?
Yeah. Having fun.
Yeah, why don't you shut up, kid? Who are you supposed to be, helmet head?
Headhunters.
Headhunters, huh?
Yes. Well,
Interesting.
you're on a mission, which looks him up and down. I'm starting to get the idea that you're here on a very similar mission or outing.
He looks at you, looks over at Julius, starts walking around Julius, sizing him up. You're quite the specimen.
Thanks.
Moves over here again. Yeah. Comes right here. I suppose you're hunting some doppelgangers, and he makes air quote with his hands.
You'd suppose correct. Although, didn't catch your name.
Name's Tewaz.
Pleasure to meet you.
Likewise, and he puts his hand up.
Just gonna shake his hand.
I'm a bounty hunter.
Well, we were told that there'd likely be bounty hunters working this, and that, if possible, we should try to work jointly with them.
Oh, really? EarthGov wants to play nice this time, huh?
Oh, I'd prefer it was every time. Jobs are made easier by having multiple people working them.
Meh, if you say so. Two doppelgangers. Looks at Julius, looks at Ash. Three of us. Do you think you two could handle one on your own? Would that be too much to ask?
Not at all. As long as we bring him in alive, I mean, I'm cool.
He looks over Julius's shoulder, and he can see the vertibird, like way back here. It's off in the distance. And he can see Pequod rummaging around the outside doing her, she has to do a pre-flight for when you guys take off. So she's doing it now. And so that's how you got here? That vertibird?
Yes?
Walks in between you guys, and who is that?
It's our pilot.
No one you need to concern yourself with.
Looks over at Julius. Okay, tough guy. Walks up here, pulls out some credits, flicks them to this guy here. We can go in, yeah? And the guy, yeah, of course, doppelgangers. Right. He kind of stands out of the way. And alright, let's go. Follow me. And you walk in with him if you choose.
You coming, Julius?
Yeah.
Alright, let's go.
As you're walking through the city, he's explaining, apparently this rinky-dink piece of shit town, Watertown, whoever named it, quite the high IQ individual. Anyway, a lot of civilians, no military or guard presence for the most part. You probably got this all in your briefing. The doppelgangers are somewhere here in town. The way I see it is, I'll go after, looks at what he has on his wrist computer. I'll go after one, you go after the other. So he points to Keeper 2. I'll go after Keeper 2. You go after Keeper 1.
Understood.
He scans around. I would try to maybe hide some of your EarthGov markings, considering the fact, they probably think EarthGov guys are going to come get them. Maybe take off the helmet or, pull the Velcro thing down on the armor, and he pulls like a So if you've ever seen, I don't want to go too much of a tangent, but Special Forces armor, generally speaking, the BDUs they wear, their insignias of the United States military always come covered with a flap. So they can pull it up to identify who they are, but it's always covered. That's how Spec Ops goes. And I imagine your armor is in the same manner. However, since Pequod has been doing your laundry of your BDUs for you, they've been lifted up. And that's why. So he pulls Ashes down for him. There you go.
Alright. Takes the helmet off.
Looks over at Julius. Oh, looks like he's already got it done. Anyway, moves up and scans the city. Okay, here's my frequency. Types on his wrist computer and it pops up on Ashes. You seem to be the brains between the two.
Alright. Let you know if anything necessary comes up.
Yeah, copy that. He pulls out his baton, and when he extends it, you see shocking energies around it. Copy that, toy soldier. And he starts walking through the city.
Oh, he is such a dick.
Yes, he is. Better to play nice. He could be of assistance to us, whether we like it or not.
Alright. Would you rather split up or stay together?
Split up for now. We'll meet back up later and get what we've come across together.
Alright, where's the point we meet up? Right in the middle?
Off to the side. Don't want to be heard talking openly about this.
Alright.
Meet back up here. I think that's a better idea.
Did you ping? Because I did not see.
Where we are.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Sounds good.
All right. I'll take the top area. You take the bottom.
You'll nod.
All right. See you in a bit.
Okay. Just we'll just go Ash then Julius.
I'm gonna walk to about here and just take a good long look around.
People going about their business, living out their day-to-day lives. You do see this goblin merchant guy. He's at his stand. He's counting what looks like EarthGov credits, and he has all different types of knickknacks and baubles and pottery and stuff for sale. Some water purifiers, even though they don't really need them on the planet. You can kind of infer he's like one of those, like snake oil salesman kind of guys. Maybe not a bad guy, but definitely. There's these Noel with a banjo playing on top of one of these huts. There's another Noel sitting with him laughing, and then there's a smaller human sitting throwing some change at the Noel credits at the Noel to keep playing, and just business as usual.
All right. Gonna walk up to the merchant's little table and look around.
When you walk up, he notices you, puts his hand down on the table. What can I do for you?
Just passing through, taking a look at what we've got here.
You're a new face in town.
That I am.
Might I interest you in a water purifier 5000 made exclusively on Europa? He has this very dinky, rickety cardboard box.
Not necessarily, but he's gonna look at the little knickknacks and baubles. These are nice.
Thank you.
I assume it's like the kind of little glass baubles that you find at like roadside, like gas stations, those kind of roadside attractions in like middle of nowhere towns.
Yeah, stuff like that and a lot of junk. Like old watches, antiquated tech, stuff like that.
Okay, gonna see if there's like a pocket watch or something like that.
Sure.
Okay.
Not working one, but yeah.
How much you want for this?
I don't know. Let me see that, son. He puts his hand out.
Hands it to him.
And he puts it up to his eye, and he has a magnifying glass. Ash, due to your smithing background, you can tell it's silver. He's looking at it, and this is clearly a fake. It's not silver. It's some type of, cheap imitation. I don't know. 20 credits, and he throws it at your chest, and you catch it.
I'll give you 25
Oh, thank you!
for very good service and maybe a bit of a conversation, eh?
Oh, I got nothing but time. The name puts out his hand. I've been waiting for this for weeks. Larry.
Nice to meet you, Larry.
They call me Legit Larry around these parts.
Well, I'd say you are with such fine wares.
Thank you, sir. And it's the crappiest wares you've ever seen, but yeah.
Ash is
What you doing here? What are you doing here? Not many people stop here on Europa. In a couple years, this place will probably be a mecca. But right now, it's in the fledgling years.
just passing through, seeing sights. Anything strange been going on here recently? Not a
No.
conversation.
Not that I've heard, no. I mean, strange as alien life forms, xenobiology trying to get into the city, but wildlife. But our guys usually take care of that. Strange, and he kind of looks, and he's truthfully trying to recall. Oh, no. I mean, definitely some new faces passed in here past couple days, but that's not too uncommon.
Outside of me and kind of motions over Julius, my friend here. Anyone else?
There were two girls, younger looking girls, but from all accounts, they've left the city.
All right. Well, I'll make you a deal. And he's gonna hand him 50 more credits. You see him again, let me know, all right? And he's gonna.
He takes them. Sure. No questions asked. 50 credits is a lot of money to him, so he takes it.
All right.
Down to Julius.
He's gonna walk up to this tabaxi.
Okay, so she's a little kid, and she's playing with what looks like it's a Rubik's cube. She's playing with a Rubik's cube, sitting on the side of this fountain here, and she's just having a good old time.
Hey, what you got there?
She looks up at you and blinks. You are tall.
That I am.
Want to see a trick?
Shoot.
10 credits.
A little entrepreneur, aren't you?
She smirks.
Credits.
She takes the 10 credits and she snaps her fingers, and you see the incomplete Rubik's Cube snap and completed.
Can Julius tell if that was actually magic, or is it just somehow a trick Rubik's Cube?
Kinesis.
Hey, that was pretty good, kid.
Thanks! You want to see it again for another 10 credits? With another grin?
Oh, no, I'm good. So, I don't see a whole lot of other little kids around. Are you the only one here?
Oh, there are some other ones, but I think there's only about 5 or 6 of us.
Oh, I see. There aren't many people here, are there?
No, not really. It's a small town right now. My parents work as fishermen.
Am I the first new person you've seen?
Oh, no. I seen 2 girls a couple days ago. I usually hang out here before I go home for the day and do my chores. And I think I saw 2 girls. Pretty sure 2 girls. Elf, maybe? Or human? Or half. I couldn't really tell. Maybe drow? She's struggling to remember.
Oh, okay. Did you see wherever they went or where they're staying?
No, I didn't. They just walked into the town center. I think they were looking for something to eat.
Okay. How recent was that?
Oh, a day and a half? Maybe? 2 days at the most?
Okay. Oh, thank you. Hey, good business idea, too.
She grins and waves at Julius. Bye-bye, handsome!
No, bye.
All the little girls like Julius. Oh, poor guy. Alright, Ash, take it away.
Alright, first things first, he's gonna relay what he's learned to Julius while walking towards the next people he's gonna talk to.
Sure.
Alright, looks like we're looking for 2 young women. I believe he's said that he doesn't think they're still in the village, but given the proximity and timing, that's who we're looking for.
Bear in mind they're doppelgangers. So they were young women when they came in, doesn't mean they're still young women now. They're most certainly still here, so be on guard.
Affirmative.
Gonna walk up to the 3 up here. How's it going, boys?
The Knoll playing the banjo looks up at you and nods, continues playing. The other Knoll looks down at you. Imagine he's sitting up on the hut too. And it's a human male. He is dressed the way he is in the picture. He looks, he's pretty well kept for a guy around here. He looks over at you. Hello!
Hello? It's a nice day out, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it is. He wipes some sweat off the brow of his head, puts his hand out. Mayor Jeff.
Pleasure to meet you, Mayor Jeff. My name's Ash.
Oh, what brings you to our town, Ash? We don't get a lot of visitors around here.
Just passing through. Thought I'd see the new colony.
It's something, a sight to behold, as the Knoll continues playing his banjo, having a good time.
Ah, you're right. Humble beginnings, but it's a very fine place to have a colony. Right along some nice routes. Probably a place people will stop by relatively often in the near future.
This Knoll up here gestures down to the man, and the man, right on. And he grabs a water pitcher, pours you a glass. Try this. The water here on Europa, best drinking water, period, in the universe. The minerals found here on the planet aren't found anywhere else, at least in known EarthGov space. Think Everclear water, just without the alcohol.
He's gonna take it and take a drink.
It is the most refreshing water you've ever tasted. Definitely leaves your mouth nice and cool for an extended duration.
Oh, that's something special. That's something you could market quite successfully, I'd say.
That was my exact thinking when I founded this place, young man. In a couple years, we get up and running, we could have the bottled water market industry cornered.
Not just bottled water. I mean, there's got to be some tourism. I'm sure, knowing how people are, there's probably going to be some nutsos who think it has healing properties.
Most likely. I'd like to avoid snake oil salesman tactics if at all possible. Apparently, from what little we know, we don't have many scientists here on the planet, but from what little we know from the educated folks around town, it's actually some type of wildlife deep below the surface of the ocean here that produce these minerals, and they come up to the surface and spread throughout the water. Interesting fact. One day I'll have brochures made.
I think that'll be a nice success, sir. You said you don't get visitors often.
No.
Any other than me and my friend over there recently?
Oh, you got a friend?
He's gonna motion over to Julius. Yeah, that's my buddy.
There were two chicks. Two young women. They looked disheveled, to say the least. They were hungry. It looks like they hadn't eaten in a while. They came through, and I think they got food at one of the food stands. At this time, you notice there's many food stands. And I think they ate. Points up there, and just like you see in the picture, it overlooks. It's highest point in the middle of the city that overlooks the river here.
Okay.
I didn't have any time to stop to talk to them. I'm an extremely busy man, as you can understand.
Of course, you have much to plan, much to get set up.
This knoll up here cackles when you say that.
Good playing.
Thank you, partner.
What better way to spend a nice, beautiful day like this than relaxing and playing some beautiful music?
The knoll next to him looks down at you. You got a smoke?
No, I don't, sadly.
Damn.
Bad habit. Trying to kick it myself.
It's a bad habit, but I could go for one.
Believe me, I know the feeling. Well, it was a pleasure talking with you boys. You'll have a great day.
Mayor Jeff shakes your hand. If you need anything, come back here. We'll be here. It's Sunday, so it's our day of rest.
Of course, of course. I'll let you know if I need anything at all. He's gonna start walking this way.
Juliet?
And he's gonna walk up to this person right here.
Okay. She's working at a food stand. Imagine if you've ever seen Doner kebabs or something. Gyro, gyro, whatever you want to call it. She's cutting off a big piece of meat.
Ooh. That's large.
She turns around. Native wildlife, believe it or not. We can't get any food flown in, so our town's hunters go out, kill these things. They call them bull rhinos. Not a great name until EarthGov comes and does a catalog of the wildlife. For now, it's bull rhino gyro. Would you like one?
Sure.
She makes you one. You say she's a master. She's probably been doing this a long time on other planets and colonies. Wraps it, puts it on a plate, slides it to you, leans onto the counter. What's your story? What are you doing here?
Well, me and my friend, I don't know, he's around here somewhere. We picked up that something special about the water here. I was wondering if we can come and make a quick buck, something like that, you know?
Oh, yeah. The water is pretty good. She reaches under the counter, pulls up a pitcher of water, and pours you a glass. If you wouldn't mind, darling, that'd be 9 credit.
He puts them on the counter.
She takes them, puts them away. Eat your sandwich. Tell me how you think. Tell me what you think.
Of course. And he takes a bite.
If you like meat, it's really good. it's like if you've ever had shawarma, it's like a good old shawarma made in like a, homemade kind of thing, not you'd get here in the States.
Oh, This is delicious.
She smiles. Thank you.
Yeah. How long you been doing this?
Oh, past 15, 20 years. I was a chef on Mars, believe it or not. There was a corporation there. It's probably still there. Corporations tend to not go away. It was called Maxtech. I worked in a city there called Cresce. Not a great place to work, young man. I got my way out of there, and I've been drifting from backwater lot to backwater lot ever since.
So have you been here since the beginning?
Yes, I have. I heard about Mayor Jeff. He's over that way, and she points at him. Heard about his goals and ideals here. I met him on Mars, believe it or not. He used to work for Maxtech as well. Some type of accounting or something like that. Math. Not my strong suit.
Not mine either.
Once. Okay, that's just something for table. So, she looks up at you. You wanted to make a quick buck here with the water. What's your plan?
I'm like, pretty simple. Bottle it, sell it.
I
Best
think-
water in the galaxy.
I think that's Jeff's long-term goal. She looks around the city, albeit it's a nice place to live. Believe it or not, the weather stays like this pretty much 24/7. There's not even a night cycle on this planet anymore because it's in such close proximation to Jupiter.
That's nice. So, since you've been here since the beginning, you know everyone here.
Yes, sir.
Have there been any other people that have come in that might want to do what we do?
Bottle up water, make their fortune. Yeah, there definitely have been. But for the most part, they get turned away pretty quick, son.
Anybody else?
No. In terms of new faces, a couple of girls passed through here the other day. Ravenous eaters. I made them 4, and the sandwich she gave you is huge. It's like $9. You definitely underpaid. They ate 4 of those apiece. They were starving. And they looked a bit worse for wears. A lot of people come to colonies like this running from things, you know what I'm saying?
So, like, their clothes were disheveled and stuff?
Clothes disheveled and just looked uneasy. Constantly looking over their shoulder.
Well, tell me they at least... You guys have, like, a clothing shop here. Tell me they at least went in there and got some clothes.
We do. We have clothing stands. Nothing like you'd find in EarthGov colony, but some right down there.
Oh. Well, I might have to check them out, too, with the food here being so good.
Oh, you should. And I appreciate that compliment. And she winks at you. You are quite the handsome young man.
Oh, thank you. My mother also thinks so.
What's with the eye? She points at your eyes. What's with the eye?
He stands up and places 5 credits down. I have a condition.
Oh. Well, I think it's quite cute, honey. She takes the credit. I'll be here if you need me.
Alright, thank you very much.
God, Julius gets all the girls.
Ash is up.
Walk up, looking around. What do I see with her?
It looks like she's going through medical supplies. Old EarthGov supplies. Looks like she's accounting. More or less. Counting things.
Walk up. Good day, ma'am.
She looks up. Howdy do!
Pretty good, pretty good. Just passing through, meeting some people, talking to some people. My name's Ash. What's your name?
Annie!
Nice to meet you, Annie. What do you do here?
Oh, I'm in charge of inventory for Mayor Jeff. Nods over to him.
Makes sense. He's got some bright plans for this place, doesn't he?
Yes, and since we're an independent colony, we have to take care of our own. That means, and she points down to what looks like morphine and saline bags and stuff like that, we have to prepare for the worst.
Of course. To protect one's people. It's an important thing.
Sure is.
Oh, anything... Just out of curiosity, anything weird been happening lately? I mean, this is a new, young colony after all. There's got to be some stories.
Okay. She smiles, looks up at you. Anything weird happening? Not many people come into town, let alone people asking questions like that. Tilts her head the other way. What are you doing here?
Just passing through.
Deception.
All right.
I don't think you're gonna make it with her. We'll see. No. So, she still has a smile on her face. Just passing through, yes? Stands up. You wouldn't mind if I... And she reaches over to your shoulder and lifts up the Velcro thing that Tawaz had put down. Oh, would you look at that? EarthGov. All the way out here in the sticks, huh? And she covers it back up for you and sits down. Anything weird going on? Well, besides the obvious EarthGov investigator. And she looks, and she can just barely see Julius walking around. And I assume your partner, what are you doing here?
Well, I suppose chances are you already know what I'm doing here.
No, I really don't. I really don't.
Can I roll insight?
That's why
to
I'm
see that?
asking. Yeah, sure. No, she doesn't. I mean, she doesn't know. That's why she's asking. Like,
All right. Well, to be honest, you've got two people coming through here recently that shouldn't be here.
2 people?
Two people. Two, agents, you could say, who have defected. They've taken things they shouldn't have and are a danger to anyone here.
Okay.
They came here recently, not long before us. Have you seen anything like that?
I don't mean to disappoint you, but as you could tell, and she gestures down, when I'm not at home sleeping, I'm here. I'm the only one that's not running their own stand working today. I'm a busy person. I've heard 2 new people came into town, but honestly, I didn't even see them. Who do you work with? What division are you with?
There's no point in lying. Headhunters.
Really? I was Air Corpsman myself. Medical Corpsman.
Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure.
Likewise. She shakes your hand.
Medical anything is a damn fine field to be in.
Not easy. Pararescue. Ugly work.
But saving lives over taking them, eh?
Yeah. Doesn't mean it's easy.
No. But do you know who I can talk to that might have knowledge as to where those 2 are? Because they are dangerous.
She kind of looks around. Dangerous. Look, I'm not clued into anything, and I understand it's probably a black bag job, but what did they do? Before I give them up, what did they do? Or at least give you any leads, I should say, not give them up.
They're 2 SIS agents who defected with classified plans for a very dangerous weapon and are looking to sell it to the highest bidder.
Okay. Well, if they're defectors, then so be it. I really don't have any allegiance to EarthGov anymore, but I could tell you there's one person who knows everything going on around town. He likes to think of himself as a player, so to speak. He's really not. His name's Tom. And he's right down there.
Alright. Thank you. Listen, I'm not wanting to step on any toes here, and sorry for the deception, but you know how it is.
I understand. I served. I get it. Hopefully Tommy can help you. If they're really dangerous, I don't want them here.
They are. I'd rather see this colony get off the ground because I think you guys have a real shot at it.
I hope we do. Now, at this time, Julius, you noted, Awaz is down here, and he did this guy's sitting up on this, like, roof or whatever, thatched roof, whatever you want to call it. And Tewaz gestured up to him and said something, and the guy gestured down to him and said something. And Tewaz has walked off out of sight. Most likely go down here. 2 bridges lead into this place, so he's probably going to investigate down that way. Julius, you're up.
All right. He's going to go to the clothing shop since that was his last conversation.
Okay, so there's a man smoking a pipe, looks like an elf, and then another elf woman, very pale skin. At a distance, you might confuse her for a drow. They're sitting at the clothing stand, having a good time, drinking some water, and they also have some tea. As you walk up to the stand, the guy with the pipe takes it out of his mouth. Hello, sir!
Hi, I'm looking for a new scarf, and I heard this was a clothing stand.
The woman gets up, new scarf! What color?
What do you think? Black.
Black. Okay! She goes and she's looking, all the clothes hanging up, very jury-rigged kind of setup they have being led as a stand. And she looks, how about this one? And she pulls out a deep red one. And she is there a lovely lady in your life, young man? Deep red is the color of love.
Well, yes, there is a lovely lady, but I'm actually not sure what her favorite color is.
The guy scoffs. That's... You would think you would know that!
Yes, you would think that I would know that. Huh.
Perhaps that's something you should know, young man, at this time, as you see Pequod coming into the market, going straight for food.
He's gonna chuckle. Never change.
Yeah, I'll get right on that, sir.
Oh, sure, come back. We'll be here, son, all day. Sunday, we're open till 8.
All right, very good. He's gonna walk a good ways away, and then on his comm, Ash.
Ash is gonna have walked away from her by now. Hi, what's up?
So that little kid told me that 2 people came in to the town, and one of them looked like an elf, half-elf human, or could have been drow.
From what I've gathered, just before we and Tewaz entered, not long before, 2 young women entered. They looked disheveled. They went to get food. I'm now heading down. I've been told that there's someone named Tommy who knows anything about anything that goes on in the town. I'm gonna try and get some information from him.
Okay, you do that. I just want to let you know that an elf lady in the clothing stand from a far ways away could have been mistaken for a drow. Just so you know.
That's true, but if she's set up a shop here, I doubt it's her. Too quick to be that, but I'll keep that in mind.
That is also true. Just keep it in mind while you talk to whoever you talk to.
Understood.
You can keep going, Julie.
Okay. He's gonna walk up to Pequod.
Pequod eating a delicious sandwich, and you see there's 2 more sandwiches waiting for her. She turns around. Julius, have you tried these? She has the sauce covered all over her face.
Yeah, I have. They're really good. What is your favorite color?
What?
You heard me.
The favorite color is blue. Earthgov blue.
All right, very good. And he walks away.
She watches Julius walk away and just... and continues eating.
Ash can go if he wants.
Go ahead, Ash. Go ahead, Ash.
Gonna make his way down until he sees Tommy.
So at the end of the alley, or at the end of the, street here, there's a guy throwing a football up in the air as if it's a baseball, and he's leaning against the building.
Good day.
He looks up at you. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm told
Nice to meet you. I'm Tommy.
Nice to meet you too. Name's Ash. I've been told you're the player around here. Knows everything there is to know.
Oh, that right.
Yeah. Wondering if you've got some information.
Maybe so, but could you play catch?
I'd like to say I can.
Okay, then go stand back there, tough guy. Points here. We play catch. football American game.
All right, let's go.
He throws the football to you. Make a dex check.
All right. Please, game.
So you easily catch it, and you can tell he has no idea to throw it. He's trying to throw it like it's a baseball.
He's gonna throw it back. Nice soft throw that he hopes Tommy can catch. Should I roll anything for that?
It hits. He can't get it. It lands short, and he can't catch it in time. Oh, ball rolls down here. He picks it up. Nice throw.
Hi, sorry about that, man.
You want information? Ask your questions, and he throws the ball at you again. Make another dex check. Now, once again, you impress him by catching it. Go ahead, ask.
As he throws it back, he's gonna ask, I was told that 2 young women came through here recently, not long before I did. Any idea where they might be?
He fails has to walk over here to pick it. Oh, fixes his hair. Yeah, a couple days ago, they come through here. Pretty looking girl. 2 of them.
Okay. Any idea where they might be now?
Not sure, weird man. I tried to take them out on date, but they don't want to go with Tommy.
Can't imagine why.
I know. No one turned me down around town. That's why I hide out down here, hiding from all women.
Seems like a good hideout. Can't have them swarming you.
He throws the ball to you.
Alright. Ooh.
You catch it. His throws are so pathetic. Anything but a one's gonna be a catch.
Okay, catch it.
You catch it. I don't know. They were very interested in clothing shop. I think, girls like clothing and stuff that make them look pretty. Stupid stuff. They were interested in clothing shop, and I think one of them maybe wanted to buy stuff from there. I offered to buy. They say, get away, creep.
Man, that's rude. I can't imagine treating you like that, and he's gonna throw it back.
You gotta go down here to catch it. Yeah, off my game today.
Well, I mean, someone being rude to someone like you like that, I mean, I can't blame you.
I agree. It bothered me very much. I'm kind of heartthrob around town.
Oh, I can imagine. Well, it's a shame. Maybe if they stick around, you might be able to win them over.
Oh, strange thing. He walks up here. I think they're gone. I have not seen or heard them. I tried to follow them, not be creepy, but just see maybe they changed their mind in time, but can't find them.
Do you know where you lost them?
Oh yeah, it was somewhere late night last night. Around clothing department. Can't tell you for sure. It was dark and Tommy can't see great, but yeah.
Good to know. Thank you, Tommy, for everything. He's gonna walk up and offer to shake his hand.
He shakes your hand. You come back when you want good game of catch. My arm's sore today. Tomorrow better, yeah.
You got it, man. Thank you. I look forward
And he
to
goes
it.
over here and leans against the wall, throwing the football in the air, mumbling to himself.
He's gonna start making his way towards the clothing shop and over the do comms and just say, Julius, our friend here doesn't know where they are, but he lost them late last night around the clothing shop. Be on your guard.
Understood.
And he's gonna start making his way there from this side.
Julius comes back to the clothing stand. If you guys want to roleplay together on this, Ash, you can bring yourself in. But either way, Julius takes lead. And go ahead.
I am back.
Ready for a scarf? And the woman stands up. And the man with his pipe, the beautiful Teresa, as he watches the beautiful Teresa go stand in front of the scarf.
Yeah, she said it was either navy blue or something like Earthgov blue.
Earthgov blue. Yes, we do have colors that are rather close. She pulls one down. I think this should do fine.
Thank you.
The man looks at you. Oh, if it's for the love of your life, son, you may have it.
Oh, thank you, sir. That means a lot.
Teresa here is the love of my life, as he gestures back to the woman.
Really? How'd you two meet?
One sec. Teresa, how about you recount the tale, dear? And she stares blankly at the ground. My dear? And I have something to do right now. Apparently Mayor Jeff is calling me on my wrist computer. I'll be back. My love of my life. And he watches her walk away.
Ash is gonna follow her.
She's head this direct.
Ash, he's gonna kind of tap, like we said the other time, let Julius know he's following her just by tapping the comm and just keep following her.
Before you leave, Julius, this guy looks really confused. I wonder, why would she act like that? She has been acting strange the past couple hours.
What? Is she always like that?
No, it just... if you spend enough time with someone, young man, especially if you love them, he looks at you, you'll pick up on mannerisms, how they carry themselves. I just thought she was sick, but she's been strange today. Very strange. The way she greeted me in the morning, when we woke. The way she made breakfast, completely wrong. The way she helped me set up the stand, I just thought it was stress, to be honest, but I don't know what's wrong with her.
Well, I hope everything turns out okay.
I hope so too! Bring her back to me if you would be so kind.
Of course, sir. And, one more question.
Yes.
I don't know if you would know, but, might there be a stand that has a Game Man 3000?
Game Man. They're making 3000, the 3000 series now. When I was back in on EarthGov Colony, I think it was only Game Man 200. This was a long time ago, son. No. Not here.
Alright. Well, thank you.
Have a good day. Bring my wife back to me. If she's ill, I'll take care of her.
Yes, sir.
Alright.
So, at this point, Ashes, you guys are both hot on this lady 6, and you see Teresa trying to go this way, but Tommy is stopping her. Come on, Teresa, married or not, we play catch. Don't mean you cheat on your husband. And I need to go, Tommy, please. Please, as she's looking over her shoulder. No, come on now, play just couple rounds catch, have good time.
Teresa.
She turns and looks to you. Yeah!
Let's talk.
Tommy, whoa. You not cutting in on my game of catch with pretty woman, pretty boy.
Believe me when I say, Tommy, things ain't as they seem.
Things ain't as seem. Fine, maybe I go get sandwich. You think you're so tough.
Isn't that right? And as he says Teresa, he's gonna, quotations with his fingers. Teresa.
Her voice changes to a more monotone, doppelganger-esque voice. Yeah, Teresa.
So what happened to the actual one?
She's fine. She's in their basement in their house. Here. Tied up, gagged. She'll be okay if somebody gets to her in the next 2 days before she's dehydrated and dies.
Alright, good to know. You know why we're here.
And right when you say that, she morphs into her doppelganger form. Yeah, I know why you're here.
I don't want to hurt you. I really don't. But you're gonna need to come with us.
I figured as much. She sees Julius cutting off the other alley. What do you say? Pulls out a disc. This is probably why you're here. I'd say me and my buddy are irrelevant. You take this, let me and my buddy go.
What do you think, Julius?
Strategically, it isn't a sound move. still too much of a danger. Hell, you probably could have made a backup and you not know about it.
He scoffs. You'd be correct. You're a lot sharper than you look. Who are you with? I figured you for bounty hunters, but most bounty hunters aren't that sharp.
Headhunters.
That explains it.
Listen, mate. One way or another, you're coming with us. I don't want to hurt you. I really don't. But you kind of gotta. Don't want to give me the choice not to.
He looks at you and sizes you up, and then sizes Julius up. And he, alright. Puts his hands up. Go ahead.
Julius, cuff him.
I'll put his hands behind his back. Oh, pat him down first, then put their hands behind their back and cuff him.
You cuff him, he does not put up a fight. As you put the cuffs on, he probably doomed anyway. Wanted to make a quick buck, but you can't run from fucking EarthGov.
No, you can't. And looks at the disc. With what's on here, someone could have done some real damage to innocent people.
We had some buyers in the UIR lined up.
Come on, man. You gotta be better than that.
Money talks, kid. And at this time you hear, oh yeah, don't worry, they over here. And Tommy comes up with Pequod, and she, what the? I've never seen a... You are fucking ugly. And he, thanks.
So, where's your friend?
That I can't tell you. I don't know. You want to beat it out of me? Go ahead. I don't know where he is. He's not here. He's not in the main part of town. He's probably down this way. Points to the path that leads to the bridge.
Alright.
Well, I saw Tewa's heading that way.
Yeah. Meaning, your friend's probably getting caught soon. I'll go see if I can lend assistance, because that guy doesn't strike me as the kind of person to take it easy on people.
Tommy walks up. Creepy doppelganger. Bitch. Walks away. Pequod looks at the doppelganger. We should probably just go together, I think. And she draws the Makarov with a big smile on her face.
Alright, we can go, but looks at her. Keep safe. Don't do anything dumb, and he's gonna ruffle her hair.
I'll be fine. By the way, did anybody find me a Gay Man 3000 at this shithole, or...?
No, I don't think we did. The only thing
I figured as much. She pouted.
The only thing I found was this old pocket watch, which I got for far less than it's worth.
The doppelganger clears his throat. Can we get this over with?
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Yep.
Let's go. Head off in the direction we saw him go.
Yep. One sec. Oh, that's fucking nuts. The way everybody's tokens turned on this map. Oh, God. Pequod is huge. I have to fix this. It's not presentable. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there are houses and stuff that, you know, adorn this bridge. People can live. This is the main entrance to the city. You guys came in the back one. This is the main entrance, and you see a scene playing out before you. There's another doppelganger and that weird jerk of a mercenary guy, and all these people are gathered around, and they're watching, and they are watching in horror. This doppelganger is being beaten to a pulp, standing being beaten. Tewaz is holding his clothing that he's wearing. He might not have any of the picture, but that's fine. And he is beating him to a pulp. And you hear this guy, he's a Kenku or something, he yells, "That's enough, for God's sakes!" And Tewaz says, "Yeah, you're right." Pushes him a little bit away. The guy the doppelganger collects himself. He's barely able to stand. And if Ash thinks he has a fast draw, he's met his match, and then that description of the pistol's not simple. Well, now you know what his revolver is. But yeah, maybe it's cool. Yeah, maybe it's cool. You know what his revolver is described as to be. That is not supposed to be there. Anyway, he, just like Revolver Ocelot in Metal Gear Solid 2, he shoots his revolver the same way, where he rides it and lifts his arm all the way up, and this doppelganger's head is gone. From the neck down, gone. And falls over and hits the ground. This doppelganger here shakes his head, and I guess you were right when he looks over at Ash. The people scream in terror. This guy's dead. His body's still there. They scream in terror. Pequod, you jerk! Runs up.
Fuck!
The doppelganger looks over at Julius, the one you guys have, and, can I stay back here?
Yeah.
He puts himself right behind this stand. He's not going to try to get away. He knows he's lost. And this Kenku comes up, and he says to Teiwaz, this lady has run away at this point, and he says to Teiwaz, what do you think you're doing? Teiwaz turns around, says, my job, Birdman. And he says, the Kenku, he says, look, doppelganger or not, bounty or not, plenty of folks, good or bad, come to settlements like ours. And I don't appreciate what you did to that man, and we won't tolerate that here in our settlement. Is that understood? So clean up your mess and get... And he blows the Kenku's head off. The parrot woman screams, comes over to her husband's dead body, and anybody else? Walks over here, puts his arms out to his side as he holsters his revolver. Anybody else? Anybody, speak up! And they all start to go inside as this poor woman starts to cry over her husband's dead body.
The fuck?
Everybody has run the fuck away at this point. Pequod runs up next to Julius. And she looks at Julius and, do something!
He's gonna comfort the bird lady.
Teiwaz looks at you guys as you come up. The doppelganger reveals himself from behind just because he wants to see what's going on, but he's trying to stay out of sight. Teiwaz looks around. No luck, huh? Where's your quarry? And he looks over at that.
Already got him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, looks over, and we were able to do it clean.
I'd call this clean. Looks down at the ground. He spins up a medallion out of his pocket, flips it, and catches it. Same medallion Ash will go on to get from Gondar later down the road. Squeezes some buttons on the side and scans the guy's body. And as he's holding it there and he's scanning it, you see his medallion is very ornate. He's been doing this perhaps not a very long time, but he's very good at what he does. But for the wrong reasons, as you're seeing. Pequod yells at him, "You jerk!" And she walks right up to it.
Gonna put his hand on her chest. Not today.
She does not listen to Ash, and he looks down at her, and what do you care? It's an independent colony, not EarthGov space. And Pequod looks at the Kenku. He's still a person? His wife! What's wrong with you? And she punches him in the shoulder. Very hard, but it does not affect him. And he kind of scoffs, and she loses her cool and steps back behind Julie.
She ain't wrong killing for killing's sake, ain't for an actual man to do.
Oh, I bet you think you're pretty tough there, British accent, don't you?
Well, at least he's an actual man, unlike you who just made a woman a widow.
Come on. It's not EarthGov space. What do you care? I mean, sure, it's in the Milky Way, but it's an independent colony. Walks over here. Who puts up the revolver at the grieving Kenku woman's head? Who cares? Why do you care?
Because it's a person, dick nozzle.
Person. Blows her head.
Right. It would seem you aren't a person.
That sounds like something an EarthGov toy soldier would say. Tin Man, as he looks over behind Julius at Ash.
I ain't nobody's toy. I just choose to live my life as I see fit.
As do I.
Jesus, who the hell raised you, man?
Wouldn't you like to know? And he walks over to Pequod, and she's lost her cool at this point. She's never seen people killed like this, in such a brutal disregard for life in general, whether they were good or bad. You could argue that doppelganger did some bad things, but definitely didn't deserve what he got. And he runs his hand down Pequod's cheek.
Oh god. Julius is gonna smack his hand away.
He looks surprised. Oh, I guess she belongs to you. She's quite the cute little thing. And he runs his hand through her hair. Am I touching a nerve?
He's gonna push him away.
Strength check. He goes back. Pequod has never been touched like this before. You can probably infer Julius is her first boyfriend. She is very shaken up.
Don't touch her.
Whatever you say, I won't touch her. Fine. No problem. Okay then. Where's your doppelganger?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Puts the revolver out to your chest. I'll go through you and your cunt. Where is it? I have a name to make for myself, a reputation to uphold, in fact, a legend to kill, in fact. So, where is your doppelganger? And if you think you have a chance here, you don't.
He's over here.
The doppelganger comes out. All right. That's enough. I'm right here. I was hiding back there. He looks at the doppelganger. You cuffed him?
Told to bring him in alive. Probably get more out of him that way.
The bounty was dead or alive. Same price.
Aye. Would we get a little more out of it? What a fucking pussy.
Walks over, scans his body. Pequod sprayed by the brain matter from the doppelganger. And you hear him chuckle slightly as he scans the body.
Ain't got the guts to actually do it the right way. Gotta do it the easy way, eh?
He looks up at you the right way. You mean carry him all the way back to Gateway Station?
Yes, dickhead.
He stole EarthGov secrets. What do you care? I care more than you, apparently.
What do you care? You're a bounty hunter.
Quick, easy, painless payment.
That
The
badge-
creed is greed, young man.
And that badge ain't make you judge, jury, and executioner.
He holds his revolver up. Here it does.
Is that so?
Maybe not in EarthGov space or colonies, but out here, in the wild, wild open galaxy, I think it does. It's about the bigger stick. Moves up here, and he's gonna push Ash away. Strength of 25 or higher, you get knocked back.
Oh, he's not gonna make it. Physically can't.
Close! You get knocked back into the stand, crashing through it. You see people in the building quivering and cowering as you crash through their stand.
Hey, if acting like that what it takes to make you feel like a big tough man, then go right ahead, boy.
He stands over the fallen doppelganger's corpse, steps over it, in fact, steps on his hand as he's walking over. He looks you all over, and he tries to walk up to Pequod one more time.
He's just gonna stand in front of her.
So you guys almost shoulder check one another. You get in front of him first. Looks down at Julius. Okay. Looks over at Ash. Mockingly waves at Pequod with his fingers. Maybe it's time you guys go back to EarthGov space, huh? I don't think you're cut out for it out here. Wouldn't last too long.
As if you know a damn thing. As he starts gathering up the body.
Why don't you put your tails between your legs and get out of here before I make you? And he puts his revolver away and walks off. And disappears back into the city. Pequod is shaken up, to say the least. Pale face, brain matter all over her.
He's gonna take his personal scarf and wipe down her face and take her hands.
Get her to the ship.
Yeah.
I've got down here.
He's gonna get her to the ship.
All right, you guys go back to the ship. She is in shock. Ash, what do you want to do before you leave?
He's gonna look around, see the destruction that just went down in front of him, and before he gets the bodies to bring back to the ship, he's just gonna sit down and try to calm down a bit, because at this point, despite trying to seem calm, his hands are starting to shake.
Okay.
Take a few minutes, breathe, make sure to document everything. Gather and get pictures of the other two bodies and let the mayor know what happened before taking everything to the ship.
Good. Good being. Okay. Thorough yields reward. All right, so you're back on the ship. Pequod's in the cockpit. Julius has helped her relax enough and come to enough to get into orbit, escape velocity hit and all that, but she is stunned. And she just shakes her head, and she's horrified still. It's a gruesome sight. That was too much. Looks out the window. What's wrong with that guy?
He's a dumbass with a chip on his shoulder.
Are all bounty hunters like that?
Oh no, ones that want to kill a legend, I suppose.
Who the hell is he talking about?
Kill a legend? What a fucking dumbass.
Legend? Gondar?
Who?
There's a bounty hunter. He's the head of the bounty hunters guild. His name's Gondar. He's nice. He's not like that guy. He's a nice guy. And she types on her wrist computer. By all accounts, I haven't met him, but he's a nice guy. He runs an orphanage with General Lorelei, the Ranger General. They're married. He's the head of the bounty hunters guild.
Someone like that sounds like a legend they'd want to kill. As he's kind of...
But why? He's nice.
And he's a little pissant with a chip on his shoulder and a big gun. Opposites.
I'd say that gun could even give you a run for your money, Ash.
I'd agree. He's... You said we could slide the chairs.
Yes.
He's kind of slid his down there, and it's kind of just trying to calm down the rest of the way. You alright? You alright? Looking at Pequod.
She looks at her hands because she got blood on her gloves and brain splatter. Close is gross. And I'm okay. I've just, believe it or not, I've never really killed anybody or seen anybody killed.
It's not easy to see your first time, especially something as gruesome as that.
I did shoot that guy on the highway on your first mission, but when you're up here, and she points around to the cockpit, it's different. They're just numbers up here, and maybe a targeting device. A targeting crosshair, so to speak. Excuse me.
Julius puts his hand on hers. It's definitely difficult seeing that kind of thing. But if you do it enough, you do get used to it, and I don't want you to get used to it.
I don't want to get used to it.
You don't. At least not that. As he's gonna look out the window. Seeing someone killed like that, it sticks with you.
EarthGov has its problems, I'm willing to admit. But for the most part, they do their best. That's why EarthGov should just take over all the independent colonies. That wouldn't fly. He would have been killed before that ever happened.
Oh, he'll get his. Ash's hand starts shaking a bit again. He'll get his. I always do.
I hope so.
You know the way you kind of shift suddenly when you're kind of frustrated or upset about something? He's doing that in the chair a fair bit.
What did he say his name was?
Hey, Was.
Taiwas.
I'm gonna make a report on that guy. I know people.
I am too.
Hey,
Tell Lazuli about it. Maybe Sugar put him in his place.
I guess independent colonies can be like the Wild West from the books and stories and movie.
Yeah.
This is one time I wish I had stayed on the ship. And she shakes her head, not laughing, not smiling.
He moves her head so she looks at him and he smiles at her. So do I. And he takes out this the blue scarf and he wraps it around her.
She puts it on around her neck and takes it. You got this for me?
Yeah.
This is... Where'd you get it? On the colony?
Yeah, at the clothing shop.
Thank you, Julius.
Not a problem, sweet pea.
And she leans in and hugs Julius. I will never take it off. And that's a promise.
I'll give you two some privacy. And he's gonna walk down to the other side of the ship and just think.
Pequod watches Ash, you walk away. And she looks at Julius. You should probably go check on him. I've never seen him quite like that. Did he know that weird bounty hunter guy?
Not that I know of.
Well, he's sure acting strange.
Alright. I'll go check on him.
As much as I like to make fun of him, I do kind of. She makes a little thing with her hand, kind of care about him. I said, go check on him.
So do I. And he makes like an even smaller pin. He kisses her on her head and he goes down to see Ash.
As you walk in, you just see him sitting there, kind of looking at his hand, looks at his guns, and just, as you walk in, just clenches a fist and punches the wall as hard as he can.
I don't think the wall killed those doppelgangers.
Thought you were sitting with your friend.
Yeah.
Didn't deserve to see that.
No, she didn't.
You didn't either.
Yeah, I'm used to it.
Yeah, I'm sure. You never get used to that.
No, I suppose you don't. Why does it have you so shaken up?
What do you mean? I'm fine.
Yeah, Mr. Tremor Hands over here. Totally fine.
Looks down. Damn, I thought I'd gotten that tell down. Ain't the first time I've seen that.
Is it?
No. I'd hoped I wouldn't have to see anything like that again. Touches a nerve.
Yeah, I can hear that. Did something similar happen to you? Like your family?
In a matter of speaking, something similar did happen to me.
He nods. Alright. I won't make you go any further into it.
Let's just say, I wasn't lying when I said I'd done things I wasn't proud of.
Julius freezes. Oh.
I appreciate
God,
your
fuck!
candor.
I didn't mean to push that. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You alright?
Yeah, perfectly fine. And he looks back at Ash.
Gods. Alright. You want to talk about it? I'll tell you if you want, but you're gonna need to sit down.
Yeah, I bet. And he sits down.
I wasn't honest when I talked to Sasha and you guys a few weeks ago. I wasn't completely honest. I was a slave for a very long time, and I did kill the men who imprisoned me, who enslaved me, but it wasn't the way I described. My owner ain't alive anymore, and I didn't hunt them down one by one.
Okay.
I got into a scuffle with him one day, and one thing led to another, and he lay dead at my feet. And in that moment, it felt good. It felt really good. So, I tracked down where they came from, and kind of motions around where the people who gave me to him came from. And I went there. They had a little place, and I walked in, and I, not too dissimilar from what he did, I killed them all.
Indiscriminately?
You could say that. I didn't really care if it was people I remembered or not. I don't know. God. Uh, it's a blur. I don't remember it. It's like a dream, not dissimilar from the memories I know you have. Just that moment, like what he did to them, over and over again. Kind of trying not to look at Julius as he says it.
It helps if you don't do that. You know, I have to replay the image of my girlfriend dying in my arms from my mother each time I limit break. I have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
No?
There's no reason to, Ash.
No, there's not. But anytime I try to sleep, I get the face of a young girl who got caught in the crossfire in my mind. Over and over again.
I understand.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, I bet 60-year-old.
Fuck you. It's not easy being confronted with yourself.
Well, you're past stealth. You're far from that person now.
No, I just keep him bottled up.
That's not a good idea. When he stands up.
Once you're capable of doing that, you can do it again.
That's very true. But hopefully, calmer minds prevail. You don't have to keep whatever that is bottled up, but who am I to talk?
I've got you here to keep me centered.
Oh God, I feel bad for you.
Hey, you're the brains of the group.
Nah, I'm all brawn, baby.
You're smarter than you think. Like I said, people like that always get what's coming to them. All of us.
Well, I don't think you're gonna be looking over your shoulder constantly, and if you do, I'm gonna be behind you.
Gonna look up to him, and this is really the first time you've seen Ash completely break emotionally. This is him. Yes, I am. This is him just holding back tears. He's gonna get up. I think you will be there, little brother. He's gonna put his hand on Julius's shoulder and pull him in for a hug. I think you will.
He's gonna hug him back. I swear, if you say that moment thing right now, I'm gonna murder you.
This is a moment I don't want to last forever. This is the easy part. I trust you. You're not gonna think too much less of me.
No, I understand. I've been through similar things.
I don't want to tell Lazuli or Saris.
Oh, Lazuli, you have no reason to. She's your trainer. Saris, well, that's something you're gonna have to deal with then.
I know. That's what scares me. And I do need to tell Lazuli. I respect her and care about her too much to keep lying to her. Like she said, you can't actually get power until you know yourself, and she needs to know me.
He shrugs. Well, you need to tell Saris. Lazuli can come later.
I know. I just don't want to lose her.
You're not. Hey, here's the deal. He's gonna flick him. If you tell Saris, I tell Pequod.
Tell her what?
About me, not that, because that's you, man.
I will. But I'm going to add a caveat. If I tell Saris, you tell Pequod that you love her, because you do, and she deserves to hear it.
He's gonna blush slightly. Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. Deal. Do it.
I will. You know she does love you. I can see it in her eyes anytime she looks at you.
Alright, that's enough.
Hey, I've heard gods if this moment could last forever from you a couple dozen times the past week. I've earned it.
God, if this moment could last forever.
Alright, let's go back up and comfort her. She needs us right now more than we need each other. Thank you. How's it going, little sister? Doing well?
Pequod at the controls of the ship. Okay, we'll be back at Raven Rock in 15.
You want to stop and get something to eat?
Honestly, Ash, don't take this the wrong way. I just have no appetite. For the first time, her eyes drift off in a long time. I have no appetite.
Alright. Hey, he's gonna walk up and just kind of put his hand on her shoulder. It's alright. He's gonna get his, I'll make damn sure of it.
I hope he does.
Gonna again ruffle her hair. You're alright. He's gonna sit down back in his chair.
Game man.
We'll find one. We will.
I'll make sure of it. He's gonna put a hand on her leg.
She smiles and takes you back to Raven Rock. Back at it again.
You get her back to the barracks. I'll debrief the commander.
Alright, if that's what you want.
She needs you right now.
Pequod looks up. No, I'd rather go to the commander. Thank you, Ash.
You sure you're alright?
Yes, I am obligated to be at the mission debriefings.
Okay. I just don't want to make you do anything you don't want to.
No, I will go. And she walks into the office before you.
Alright. Come on.
Oh, wow, why did everybody jump back? What the fuck was that about? Roll 20.
Ma'am?
Oh, I guess it doesn't have a ping command like a lot of old video games. Commander Integra looks up, spins around in her chair. How did it go? Judging by the fact I see no doppelgangers, as she's doing this thing with her fist on her armrest of her chair, I suppose they didn't make it back alive, yes?
They were going to, but we ran into a snag.
Snag. Types up on her computer, believe it or not, I trust the both of you. Your first couple missions, I watched. Every move you made live. Nowadays, I don't watch anymore. I trust you to make the right decisions and come back alive, unharmed, and unspoiled. As she raises an eyebrow at Pequod, and she pulls up your combat footage.
We weren't.
Let's go, Ash. Debrief time.
Alright. We landed and were greeted by a bounty hunter named Taywaz. He was working the same thing we were. We agreed we'd work together. We find one, he finds the other.
Hey, who?
Taywaz.
I think I've heard the name. I'm sorry, Ash. Please continue.
We, Julius and I working together, managed to find the one we had agreed to find, captured him, and went to meet up with Taywaz. We got down to where he was and witnessed him brutally beat, murder, and then murder the doppelganger before firing down and killing 2 civilians in cold blood.
2 civilians?
Yes, an Aarakocra, or a Kenku and an Aarakocra, ma'am.
She speeds up the footage, gets to the point where you guys are on the main entrance to the city, and she watches it happen, and watches the Aarakocra's head, Kenku, whichever one was first, get taken off like it was hit with a freight train. And Pequod winces, closes her eyes, and makes a whimper. And Commander Integra closes the footage. How barbaric.
It's one thing to say, ma'am. He killed both of them and then killed ours as well.
Pequod speaks up. I'd like to formally file a complaint with the Bounty Hunters Guild. And Commander Integra, I'll take care of it.
Same for me.
Taywaz was the name, Ash?
Yes, referred to wanting to kill a legend. You call me dramatic.
I don't.
We believe the legend he's referring to is a certain Gondar.
Gondar? Who would want to hurt Gondar? Why?
Plays the footage again. Someone like that.
But why? Gondar! How much do you know about Gondar?
Well, we were just told head of the Bounty Hunters Guild, runs an orphanage, seems like an all-around good person, someone I'd love to meet.
Gondar is old. Very old. If you think I'm old, Ash, he is incredibly old. He served in EarthGov back during the Calamity Wars. In fact, that's 500 years ago. That should give you... He's old, Ash. He went on to be a bounty hunter. A legendary bounty hunter, if you will. Though I don't think he'd like to be called that. I have a good rapport with him myself. I worked with his guild many times back in my SIS days. I can't believe anybody would want to hurt him. For all intents and purposes, she stands up. During a time in EarthGov's fledgling years, he was the realm's justice, while EarthGov was getting off its feet.
Well, then he should know that somebody's sullying that name right now.
Well, there's no way anything could be done to him on Gateway Station. This Taywaz fella, he'd be dead before he even got near him, but I've heard the name. I've heard his name. I'm not sure where. Doesn't look very old.
No, I'd say he might even be younger than I am, ma'am.
I'd say so. One moment. Punches in on the computer, pulls up his bounty hunter record, and her head goes back in shock. My. Quite the accomplished hunter. And you can see Ash's dossier, top marks, 5 out of 5, and you see under there's a combat rating. EarthGov has combat rating. It's very simple combat rating. It's lethal, hyper lethal vector. That's the scale, and he has hyper lethal vector. The highest combat rating. I'm glad you two did not engage.
Easy to be a high rating if you have no honor.
I don't know where I've heard the name. I would be shocked if he's one of Gondar's children. Either way, I'll file the complaint on your behalf, Pequod. She nods at the commander, closes his dossier. I'm glad you're back safe and sound.
Thank you, ma'am. File one on my behalf, too.
It will be done, as well as your combat footage.
Thank you. And I did let the mayor of the colony know. I informed him as to what happened.
Understood.
The civilian that they were impersonating also, we informed the mayor of.
Understood. Well, I'm sorry you had to see that, and she looks at Pequod. Pequod nods at her. Why don't you go get some rest? Go to Major Lasley's tomorrow.
Understood, ma'am. And for the record, you don't look old, ma'am.
She smiles. Thank you.
I look old. You don't.
Ash, that's one thing we can agree upon. As she fixes her hair.
He's gonna laugh. I'd say the haircut did wonders.
You do look better. Santa Claus.
I am a bit too fit for that one. It's buff Santa, I'll have you know.
Well, Ash, guess who's going to play Santa Claus this year when Christmas comes around at Raven Rock?
Gladly, ma'am.
Good.
Always could use a bit of fun.
Dismissed.
He's gonna wait for Pequod and Julius to file out.
Do they? It's up to them.
Julius is gonna look at Ash and shake his head.
Yeah, she's gonna nod.
Yes, Ash, what do you need?
A personal question, ma'am?
Yes, of course.
What is Ceres's birthday?
She looks at you and inhales just like I did and glares at you. Why do you want to know, Ash? Just give me the reason. I don't need your theatric or over-dramatization.
One, I want to know because I care about her, and two, I'm making her a gift, and it is required for it. I can't ask her because it might spoil the gift.
What you plan to do, engrave her birthday on a watch?
No, I need to know her birthstone.
Aquamarine. March 12th.
March 12th. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome, Ash. Thank you.
For what, ma'am?
For Carrie? Now get out! I don't want your over-dramatization. I have a complaint to file.
He's gonna laugh. You're welcome, ma'am, and you need anything, just holler. I know paperwork isn't fun.
An In-N-Out burger wouldn't have hurt.
I wish. Sadly, food was the last thing on her mind.
You can understand why, as she turns her chair to go begin filing her lengthy report.
Agreed. Alright. He's gonna walk down towards the mess hall. Talk to, oh my god, wasn't his name Jim?
Yeah.
Hey, Jim?
He's back in the storeroom. Hey! And he's got a bunch of MREs in his hand, and he throws one at your chest. Get!
Thanks, mate. I I'd say it'd be a good time to get the commander a nice stiff cup of coffee. She's gonna need it after that.
Oh. Yeah, sure. 1 second. He goes back, and there's a coffee machine, a higher-end one. Decaf, what kind?
I was hoping you'd know. I'd say caffeinated with what she's dealing with. Paperwork.
I think she drinks her coffee black.
Get that?
He pours the cup for you. There you go.
Thank you.
Really playing up the whole future son-in-law thing, huh?
A little, but more so what she's gotta deal with. She needs it.
He grabs one more MRE. Here, take this. This one has Skittles in it.
Thank you. And he's gonna walk back up. I know you told me to get out. Ma'am, but it seemed like you needed these at the moment. He's gonna set them on her desk. Now I'll leave you alone.
Thank you very much, Ash. As you see, she reaches for the cup of coffee immediately.
You're welcome, ma'am. He's gonna walk down.
Now, a couple weeks pass. You go to Lasley, you just do your normal physical training and stuff like that. A couple weeks pass. The memory of Tewaz isn't so raw. Pequod definitely hasn't forgotten about it, but it's not affecting her anymore. And you make your way to Lasley's valley that she usually trains you in. Always go to all the time. And oh yeah, that would help. Why don't you put them over there? There you go. And there's nobody here. So we'll say about 3 weeks passed. You've went to her off and on. Nobody's here today.
Wonder what's going on. He's gonna walk up and take a look around.
Pequod raises an eyebrow. I kind of figured she always had like a sixth sense for when we were coming, being that she was always here, and she's really powerful and scary, but kind of like Mom. She looks around again. It's kind of creepy she's not here, and she steps close to Julius.
Yeah. He's going. Let's head for the bunker. If she's anywhere, she'll be there.
Good idea.
Alright. Head that way, keeping an eye out for Lazuli on the way.
You make your way to the bunker. Nobody here. You didn't see her your whole way. Just sound of the wind, wildlife, and the ocean that borders her training ground.
Alright, he's gonna walk up, put the code in at Amaska.
Good memory. Elevator opens. Pequod, oh god, I love coming here. And she grabs Julius's arm and quickly walks into the elevator.
Alright, gonna take it down.
You take it down. The elevator stops. The door opens. And there's music playing, Italian music. And there's a scene going on, not two Ceres's, before you. Blaze is cooking. Lazuli is cooking. Ceres is handing Hunk a plate of spaghetti, who has his gas mask lifted just enough to where his mouth is visible. And Icy's sitting on the counter playing something. Looks like a handheld device.
Well, that explains why you weren't there, ma'am.
Lazuli looks up. Hey!
How are you doing?
I'm surprised you remembered the code.
Wouldn't forget it for the world, ma'am.
Blaze gestures. My young sires, come, eat!
Will do. You gonna sit down next to Ceres? How are you doing?
Pequod immediately notices what Icy is holding. It's a Game Man 3000. And she runs up to her, sits in front of her, stands in front of her, and where did you get that? Icy, she has her tongue sticking out of her mouth, playing some type of game. It's like a gun game with explosions, side scroller. She ignores her. And Pequod, where did she and Hunk? I got it for her. And Pequod walks over here. Where did you get it? Why did she get one and I didn't? And Leslie, oh god, here we go. And Hunk, it was her gift for the, you remember the game thing we played with the guy who punched people and the scary lady and the pathetic wizard. Pequod, I don't care. Where did you get it? I didn't get it, I just paid for it. The Arcane Council got it for me. I couldn't find one, thank you very much. Here, have some spaghetti. And he slides over his bowl, and Pequod, I don't want spaghetti, I want a Game Man 3000, runs back over to Icy, and she grabs it and starts pulling it out of her hands. Icy, hey, watch out, these are expensive! And they're fighting with it. Pequod's trying to pull it. Icy's pulling it back.
Julius, you might want to save Pequod.
He goes over to them and just splits them.
Lazuli walks over, smacks Pequod on the back of the head. Ow! She recoils forward, takes the Game Man 3000, puts it back in Icy's hand, puts a hand out to Pequod. Honestly, I expected this one to be the immature one, not you. Pequod looks up at her. Well, I really want one! Lazuli, that's your boyfriend's problem. Icy, go back to playing your game, and please relax. And she goes back to playing her game and ignores Pequod. Pequod looks over at Julius. You're damn right, it's my boyfriend's problem, and makes a fist and starts putting it towards Julius's chin.
You think I haven't been trying to find one?
Hunk looks over. Cut him some slack. They're hard to find. I don't care if they're hard to find. And Hunk, Jesus Christ, and moves over.
Maybe you could put in a good word for us and see if somebody could pull some strings to save his life.
Hunk looks up. Do you know what I had to do to get that?
A lot of brown nosing.
No, dude, I had to pay for all the materials for a wish spell. You know what that is?
Yeah. I know how much that would be in gold.
A lot!
Yeah, fair enough.
Lazuli laughs as Blaze sets a bowl of spaghetti in front of Ash. Pequod grabs Julius's shoulder and pushes him away.
Don't worry, Pequod. We'll find one.
Icy looks up, looks at Julius, looks at Pequod, and puts the Game Man in front of Pequod. She looks up at her. Thank you. And Icy, sure! And she sits over here, and Pequod goes and starts playing it over here. And you hear Pequod say, oh my god, it's Animal Crossing 4000! And Icy kind of, and sits and looks sits in front of Lazuli and looks at her and watches her cook.
Julius takes his scarf, puts it around his face, and just muffled screams into it.
Hunk watches Julius walk by. I've been there, trust me. At least not with a woman, but with that one. And he points over to Icy, who's just watching Lazuli cook, pouring spices into whatever she's making.
I'm sure you'll be there someday. Just gotta tell her. And kinda move his head toward Lazuli. Just got to tell her.
Hunk, yes, just got to tell her, draws a knife, like I can tell you how to bleed out. Be quiet and eat your spaghetti.
He's gonna laugh. Fair enough.
Puts the knife away. Blaze, Julius, are you hungry?
Yeah, I am.
Pequod says, aha! Aha! He hands Julius a bowl of spaghetti. I believe she would like to eat first.
Yes, she would. And he walks over to her. My love.
She looks up at you and takes it and stands up, points at the chair.
He sits down.
She plops down on you and begins playing the Game Man and eating. Blaze looks around. I love having so many guests.
I love
Saris looks over at Ash. Ash, just because I can't eat human food does not mean I can't cook good human food. And Blaze, that would be correct. This is Saris's recipe for spaghetti sauce.
You made this. Well,
I did, in fact.
Let me try.
Go ahead. She looks at you, hopefully.
Gonna take a nice big bite.
It's horrible. There's a reason Leslie's cooking her own food.
It's good.
Really?
Yeah. Kinda reminds me of home in a weird way.
Hunk eating his, I think it's great. Leslie just mutters something to herself. Julius, you notice Pequod feeds you some and it's It's god awful. You're fighting your gag reflex.
Oh.
Julius, what do you think? Sarah speaks up.
He knows that Ash has already lied about it. Oh, it's so good.
Pequod opens her mouth and points.
He feeds her some and he gives her a look like be nice about it.
She puts it, it's ziti. She puts it in her mouth, chews it, and it's the best ziti I ever had, Saris. It's wonderful. And Saris is very happy.
Ash is just eating it. He doesn't give a fuck. Food is
So
food.
is Hunk.
Food is food. I can't imagine that the food places in Gallia were very good.
Probably not, no. This is probably much better than anything you had in Gallia.
It's actually one of the better pastas I've ever had.
Leslie looks over her shoulder and glares at you.
He's gonna mouth to her, I'm not just mouth, I'm not lying.
She looks back at Icy. Icy shrugs, and they continue to cook their own food.
Well, how's everyone's day been?
Well, pretty good. We were hoping you guys would show up. We're, got something special planned for you guys.
Oh, really?
Yep, Hunk looks over at Julius and you. How'd you guys get into the military if you didn't have a driver's license? Ash can't drive! Saris looks at him. Apparently not. He's got no driver's license number, and neither does Julius.
As far as I can remember, woke up on an EarthGov base, and one thing led to another, and I'm in the military.
On Ash's dossier, it says he could drive horse carriages. Pequod spits. Because she was drinking something. Does a spit take.
Oh yeah, I can drive a carriage, big ones, small ones, princess carriages, any of them. It's pretty simple.
Princess carriages? Saris looks at you inquisitively.
Yeah, you know, in the fairy tales, the ones with all the pomp and circumstance.
Leslie looks over at her shoulder again at you and gestures, Ash, come over here.
Yes, ma'am. Walks over.
She hands you a plate with some steak on.
Thank you. He's gonna
Nods as Icy waves at you.
He's gonna wait. How are you doing, Icy?
I'm okay.
Good. Good.
I'm gonna be teaching you and Julius how to drive.
Oh no.
Oh no, is right.
I know Ash doesn't remember much from Gallia, but he's gonna probably remember how well it went the last time he operated anything that could be called driving. The submarine nearly exploding.
Hunk speaks up, don't worry. I taught her how to drive last year. She's really good at it.
Oh no.
I'm sure she is. It's me I'm worried about.
Leslie speaks up. We'll be going to my hometown.
Oh. Okay, that'll be a pleasure.
Downtown section, it's not a small place. It's in California. Downtown portion, small city. There is a nice mall, and we'll be practicing around the mall. Not a lot of traffic. You should be able to learn how to drive. And Hunk, she gestures over at Hunk, can pass you for your driver's license exam. He is a certified driver's instructor. He had to become one when he took on, and she points at Icy, who's just grinning, this one. And Hunk, I failed that test twice. Jesus Christ.
Couldn't be too bad. I trust him.
I don't trust me, as he mumbles to himself.
Julius just has his head on Pequod's back. We're all gonna die.
And Pequod, did she say shopping mall?
She did, as he's gonna walk over to Blaze.
Blaze, preparing more food. Yes, sir.
Two things. The first one, could you do me a favor while we're there?
I could.
He's gonna whisper, I'll give you the money for it, but could you look for an aquamarine and a sapphire for me while you're there?
It will be done.
Thank you. And the other one is I need to
What
get...
size?
Here. He's gonna use his wrist computer and very hiding it, send him the schematic for the pendant. That should
He
take-
sees it. Oh, Guy, I have it, Ash. Don't worry about that.
Understood. And I need to talk to you once we get a chance about the pistols. I've overlooked your plans, and I have a few slight changes I'd like to make.
Then we will make them. Lasley looks over. We have time before we go. Saris will not be coming out in the middle of broad daylight to watch you drive. So, if you want to talk to her, Ash, please, God, do it now.
Right. He's gonna just sit there and kind of...
Blaze puts his hand on your shoulder before you go. We'll talk about the pistols some other time, Ash. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, will do. Saris, I don't want to ruin your day, but would you mind if we talked in private?
In private? Sure!
Okay. Yeah, let's go down here. He's gonna make his way into here.
She follows you in, door closes, nobody follows.
Alright. So, I really want our relationship to work, and you've told me your story. Well, your mother did. I feel I need to tell you mine.
Saris puts her hand on your chest. Ash, I'm glad you're gonna... And she steps back. Don't take this the wrong way, but when a vampire, at least of, and she points to her fangs, royal bloodline, drinks from somebody's blood, they inherit a lot of their memory. She kind of tilts her head. I didn't want to come out like this and say I knew what happened. But if you're referring to you... She puts her hand over her mouth. Shooting a bunch of people on... I don't even know what it was. Where was that? She knows. She's known. Doesn't mean she just didn't want to upset you by telling you.
He's gonna... I don't know. I can't remember.
Tell me something, Ash. Do you remember why you did it? Because some of these memories are three-dimensional. She points to her head. Some are two. Either way, she shrugs. I've known since I drank you. She walks closer, and I still don't think you're a bad person. Otherwise, I would have never sent you those 2 shotgun shells as a gift. And she hugs you.
I'm gonna hug her back, and I remember why. I wanted them to pay. They hurt me.
She squeezes you tightly. Ash, I've tried to explain it to the Major. Your brain is like scrambled eggs, and that's the only way I can put it. Do you know why?
I don't. The last I told them the other day. I remember it's like a photo album. There are some parts where you have all the context, and others where it's brief moments. I remember that vividly, referring to, that day. I remember much about the years prior to that, but after that I remember working in a bounty hunters guild in a city. I remember taking a job to hunt down some insurgent, some bandit, something like that. I remember doing it. I remember Julius being there. Getting sent after others, bigger paychecks. I remember getting on a ship, an actual ship, a wooden ship. An island with dead sea around it. I remember a fort under siege, and then I woke up in an EarthGov base, and everything after that is clear as crystal.
She nods her head. Have you ever thought about telling the Major this? I mean, in detail. Ash, I haven't told anybody anything I know.
I thank you for that. I need to tell her. I lied to her the first time she asked.
Well, maybe she could help you. You don't have any responsibility to tell her, but maybe she could help you.
She could, and I don't know. I feel like she's been honest with me. I owe her at least the same.
I would agree, but only if you want to.
No, I should. Thank you.
She's still hugging you. Ash, you do know what you did was wrong, and I think you know that, but if those people, I don't even know, what would you call those people? Marauders?
Marauders, bandits, criminals, whatever you want to say.
Yin and Yang. Killed them. You potentially saved the lives of a lot of people. Just maybe didn't go about it, and she kisses you the right way. But everybody makes mistakes.
Everyone does, just some people make bigger ones than others.
She steps back. I'm not all about killing civilians. But when I drank you, that's somewhat why I was attracted to you, believe it or not, Ash, you are. And she smirks, kind of a badass, and she makes finger pistols with her finger.
He's gonna laugh a bit, I suppose. You know I love you, right?
I love you.
Ah, if you don't think I'm that bad, then I can't be all bad.
I don't think anybody here thinks you're bad at all.
No, you get in your own head. You worry that I worry that if they knew, they might think different.
I don't think they would. And besides, if we stick together, all of us, nothing's gonna stop us. And she makes a fist. At this time, Leslie and Icy come in. She's riding Leslie's shoulders. And Leslie, what the hell's going on in here?
Ash is gonna sit up and try to hide the fact that he was damn near ready to start crying at that point. Ma'am?
Yes,
Just...
as long as you're not having sex on my couch. Saris walks up to her and says, Ash has something he wants to tell you. And she, oh really? And she, yep, going back out to cook. And as she leaves and the door closed, Leslie shakes her head. That spaghetti is the most disgusting thing I've ever tasted. Icy sitting with Leslie on her shoulders.
I've had worse, ma'am.
If you say so, Ash.
I do have something I need to tell you. Do you mind if we get a bit of privacy, Icy?
Icy looks up, sure. And she jumps off her shoulders and starts to walk away. And Leslie grabs her and no. Puts her on the couch. She sits next to you and looks up at you. I don't want to be near the old guy. And Leslie, anything you can say to me, you should be able to say to her. Leslie air quotes her fingers. Family, yes? Is that what you said last time we talked in private? So, family don't hide things from one another, Ash. Time to grow up. Talk.
Okay, ma'am. Our last mission had some memories dredged up. And I have to be honest with you and say I lied through my teeth when you asked about my past.
She sits down at a chair here. Icy pulls out a little notepad and starts drawing.
I told you that I bought my freedom and then hunted each one of the guys who hurt me and my family down one by one.
I recall.
That's not what happened. The man who bought me was a lizard folk named Argana. He was every bit as cruel as I said. One day I was working with him and I made some petty mistake and he tried to beat me, as he had. I don't know. That day I just had enough and I fought back. I picked something up and I I killed him with it. I don't know. Something about it, it just felt... You're gonna squeeze this. It felt good. It felt right. So I found the ledger for where he had bought me from, and I went there. I loaded every weapon in his shop into a carriage, and I went. I got there. Was allowed in because they're idiots. They're bandits. They see the guns, and I said I wanted to trade. Of course they let me in. There was a market area, black market area, and a tavern. I loaded up any pistol I had, and I walked in, and I started shooting anything that moved.
Lacey's eyes, goggles lifted, are wide, looking at you.
Anything that moved. Sure, I went after the people whose faces I recognized first, but not everyone there was a bandit. Eventually, I saw the man who had killed my parents. And I chased him. I wounded him, and he pulled a young woman in front of him. Younger, she couldn't have been older than... She couldn't have been older than Ceres. She looked a hell of a lot like Pequod. He laughed, started backing away as she begged me not to do anything, and I emptied my pepper box into them.
If you look down at Ice, she's looking at you with huge eyes, and her mouth is like very small.
I killed them all. Bandit, civilian, I didn't care. I ended every one of their lives, and then I ran.
Lacey speaks up like that Magnificent Seven movie. It starred Leslie, not now. And she stops talking.
At this point, his breathing's kind of coming in ragged breaths. I ran. I got as far away as I could until I came to, I think it was the capital city. I found small-time work as a bounty hunter there and kept that job until I took a job that would lead me here. And that's my story.
You notice Icy has a piece of paper and she's holding it up to you. And there's a poorly, albeit, drawn flower and it says, "Feel better, Ash."
Smile and kind of pull her in for a hug. A side hug, like a brother, older brother, that one.
She's receptive.
Thank you.
You're okay for an old guy.
Not that old.
Leslie, why don't you go talk to Hunk for a while? And she, okay, and walks out of the room. And she goes to annoy the fuck out of Hunk as per usual. And Leslie, have you ever heard of Tanagra Town, Ash?
I can't say I have, ma'am.
Interesting. Steps over here, types on her wrist computer, pulls up on this TV a map of the continental U.S. Tanagra Town resides here, outside of Colorado. It's a state. I believe you went there on a mission, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
So this, Ash, points up at the TV, types something on her wrist computer, and there's a circle that appears. This is the Colorado Blast Zone. They say, she pulls up news articles on her wrist computer, sends them to you so you can read them. They say a nuclear device was set off here during the Archfiend incursion. A lot of people died. Soldiers, Archfiends, civilians. Do you know what it really was?
I don't, but I'm starting to get a picture of what it was and looks up at her.
She puts her hand up. It was covered up. Folks need heroes. She sits down. There's a reason I don't act like a hero. Puts her hand on your leg. In a moment of rage, We can do terrible things, whether we're gifted like Julius, or myself, or just a skilled gunfighter. I did something far worse than what you did, and I don't think I deserve all the accolades I get. That's why I work very hard not to have my face anywhere, or Lazuli action figures that you people bought of me when we went to Jupiter Falls. Pequod does have a Lazuli action figure on display now in the barracks. Either way, Ash, I wish I hadn't done it. But it happened. What happened, happened. Can't go back. She stands up. It's best we move on.
You're right, I don't know. They got theirs. You're right. I just don't know.
They got theirs. Some people who didn't deserve to get theirs got theirs. Can't change it, but you can't let it beat you. She walks to the door, opens it, and why would you let it beat you when you have so much fun? Closes the door after she opened it, and shitty cooking to enjoy yourself with. Pay it forward. She closes her fist. That's what I've tried to do. Rico set me up well here. Sets me up with a nice salary, nice free ship, accolades, bunker, fun stuff, fun times. I try to pay it forward by teaching youth like you and Spartans. Find a way to pay it forward, and that's, she puts her fist out, the only way you'll get through it.
I will. One more question, man.
Yes.
Have you ever heard the name Tewaz?
She thinks for a minute. I believe I have. He's a bounty hunter of some type. He's one of Gondar's kids. Orphan, I think.
He's one of Gondar's? I've heard nothing but good about that man, and that thing is his. Starting to get a bit angry.
She doesn't know the particulars. I think so, yeah. Ash, believe it or not, there was a time I was a pencil pusher on Gateway Station. After the Archfiend incursion. They wanted to prop me up. Make me a hero. Push papers. Glad hand people. I threatened to quit. They wanted to keep me. So, I got set up nice here.
Yeah.
I did know Gondar. I've met him a few fair times. He's a good man. He's related to the general of the Rangers. They're married, I think. They run an orphanage. Something like that. It was a long time ago I was on Gateway Ash.
We met his son on our mission. He's gonna
Okay.
just pull up the recording of it and not even look at it, but let her see.
She watches it play out, listens to him say, kill a legend. What a punk.
Yeah,
You let him walk away?
I'm not that stupid, man. There was nothing I could do to him.
Nothing yet.
If I get the chance, I'm gonna kill him.
Well, Ash, I don't think it's a reflection on Gondar. I mean, there is such a thing as bad seed.
Maybe so, but I was hoping you'd know it.
She leans in. Look at his medallion. So these medallions, you see that thing?
Yeah,
These bounty hunters carry these, kind of like your ridiculous trophies you wear on your armor. Any bounty hunter has one. The more kills they get, the more ornate it gets. It's very macho. American bravado, if you will. His is quite adoring. He's brought in a lot of bounties. I imagine not alive, judging by what I'm seeing. Please stop the footage.
he does. We saw his dossier in the commander's office. It was longer than my entire, than my life story, and he was listed as a, I believe it was, oh my god, it was fatal, right, or deadly.
Hyper lethal vector.
He was listed as a hyper-lethal vector combatant.
She raises an eyebrow. Really now?
Yes, ma'am.
So that combat rating scale is only used for people, no disrespect meant, like yourself, Ash. normal humans, half-elves, people who don't have innate abilities. The only people who tend to receive that rating, normal soldiers, are Spartans. And they only have it because they're Spartans. If that's true, he isn't one to mess with. There is one other person, and they're not far from here, believe it or not, who shares that rating. Do you know who it is?
Icy? Or Hunk? One of them?
Hunk is Icy has magic. She's excluded from the rating process.
Right.
Believe it or not, Agent Hunk does have that rating. And you could see, like, maybe through a window or something, he's struggling to feed himself with the fork, but yeah.
I believe it, ma'am. I watched him fight. No disrespect to a great warrior, but he's hopeless at anything else but in combat. He's a phenom.
He does have his charms outside of combat, just they are few. Anyway, she puts her hand out. Time to get up.
Right so, ma'am. And thank you. I needed that. It's, like you said, I need to shift some of that onto others.
She puts her arm around you. Yes, you do. And not just your vampire girlfriend. You guys walk out, and she goes say your goodbyes. Saddle up. We're going to learn to drive. And Hunk, but I haven't finished eating. Shut up! Alright.
Will do. Thank you.
Leslie walks over to Julius, and Pequod, still awake, pokes Julius on the head.
Yeah. Awake as ever.
Pequod looks up at her. This spaghetti is god awful. Leslie, I'll get you something to eat when we get back to my hometown. Pequod perks up, and Leslie puts her hand out. The game man. Pequod looks at her and frowns. I'll take it from you, or you'll give it to me. And no, Julius will not be able to stop me. She reluctantly hands over the game man. Good girl. And walks over and gives it to Icy. It's your own thing!
Gonna kiss Saris.
She returns. One.
I'll be back.
You better be.
Can't live without you.
Likewise. Hunk's watching you guys to be young and in love.
He's gonna kiss her again. You're damn right. Hey, you can at least tick one of those boxes.
Hunk's just staring at you as you guys stare deeply into each other's eyes. And Hunk, do you think I could get a to-go box for this spaghetti? Leslie grabs him. Come on, driving instructor Hunk. God damn it! And drags him out of the bunk.
They really do make a good couple, don't they?
Icy kind of walks off behind. Julius and Pequod as well. They can come. Saris, Ash. Tonight. She winks. Call me. And Pequod hears this and, oh God!
I wouldn't miss it for the world. He's gonna kiss her again.
Pequod speaks up. Neither will we.
Julius yells out to Blaze, "Give me alchemist supplies so I can make sleeping potions, Blaze."
Blaze puts the pots and pans down. No worries, young sire. I'll put that on your list. He writes it down. I'll be coming with you.
And, next time I'm here, I'm gonna try to reserve some alone time for us. And he's going to wink at her and walk away. Ooh. Brought it up. Alright.
Okay. She winks back, and you're gonna leave. You can have alone time with her, but I am not ERP with you.
No, I wouldn't imagine you would.
No. That sent a shiver up my spine. Okay, so you guys fly to Leslie's hometown in Orange County, California, and you find yourself here. Boom. Right in the middle of this shopping mall. There's some stop signs. Okay, boom! And Leslie stands with her arms crossed, looking at Hunk, and she looks over at you guys. Are you ready to learn? Blaze, right here, begins going into the mall. Pequod looks at the mall. Game Man 3000 game! And runs in with Blaze, who follows right next to him.
Hopefully, ma'am.
Hunk looks at Leslie. You have had them read the driver's manual, right? And Leslie grimaces for a second. And Hunk, they did read it, right? And Leslie has she's biting her bottom lip. And Hunk, you remember I told you to have them read it like 2 weeks ago. And she flat out punches him, and he falls out into the street. And he, punched him in the side of the head. Helmet came off, puts his helmet back on. Okay, so I guess she forgot to tell you guys to read it, yeah?
It would appear so.
There's a manual.
Oh, good God. Leslie walks off into the store. Oh, God. All right. So, look, it's not that hard. Trust me. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Let's take a walk around together. You see this? Points to the speed limit 15. When you're driving and you're in the cars go miles per hour. So if you see a sign like this and it says 15, you don't want to go over 15 miles. Does that make sense?
You said we didn't read the manual, not that we're stupid.
All right. Well, just trying to cover all my bases. Relax. Here, come on. There's not too much traffic out this time of day. He walks up here. This is a stoplight. Do you know what it does?
Tells people to stop.
Correct. So, red means stop. Yellow means slow. Green means go. So, if you're here, and he points to the ground, in your car, and the light is red, what do you do?
Stop.
Stop.
If the light is yellow,
Slow down.
and if the light is green,
Go.
nice. I think you guys will be okay. Come on, follow me. Walks up to a stop sign, points at it. What does this mean?
Stop.
Correct. You come to a complete stop.
Okay. So it's like a red light, but a sign.
Right. Now, the most important rule in the driver's manual. This. He walks out into the street, there's no cars. Points down here. This is a crosswalk. They look like this pretty much anywhere you'll go. If there's anybody in, he steps in the crosswalk, that means you yield to them. Pedestrians, meaning people walking around or on a bike, always have the right of way, and you always yield to pedestrians. So, if there's a pedestrian here, you must stop, even though when he points around, there's no stop sign right here in this intersection. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we're ready to go. First, we'll go over parallel parking. Come with me.
Okay.
Now, parallel parking is difficult. However, takes you all the way back down here. It's fucking Hunk's day on the town with the boy. There's these cars. They're rent-a-car. Hunk walks up to one, puts some credits in the receptacle, and the door opens. Let's go one at a time. Why don't we start with Julius? Get in the car in the driver's seat.
Okay. He'll get in the car.
Excellent. Now, you see there's this thing called a wheel. Do you see it?
He's staring directly at it. No, point it out.
Oh, no problem. He leans in and this is the wheel, and he touches it with his finger.
Oh my god, you're so dense. No wonder you haven't asked Leslie.
What was that?
What's up?
Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, so this is your clutch or gear. Look down here, and there's just like in a car. You see, D means drive, N means neutral, P means park. So if you put the car in drive, what does it do?
Goes.
Right, but you have to put your foot on the brake to be able to use this. So put your foot on the brake and put the car in drive.
He does it.
Now easily let your foot off the brake gingerly.
As gingerly as you can.
The car slowly starts drifting this direction. You're like here. starts drifting forward, and Hunk, that's it, and he starts clapping. Very good.
What next, boss?
Well, easy. Put the car in R. That's R for reverse. Ash, you're taking notes, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Good boy. And he pats you on the shoulder. Now put it in reverse. Back up to this sign. And then go straight up the street slowly. Stay on this side. Not that side.
Julius feels his knuckles cracking while he grips the wheel. Yes, sir.
Dexterity check. Or wisdom, actually. Maybe. Wisdom, yeah. Fuck it, you're a natural. You back up and Hunk. Oh, he's got a bright future ahead of him. Alright, now slowly go up the street, maintaining the speed limit. And he pulls out one of those cop radar guns and points it at your car.
He goes.
Wisdom. Just want to see something. And it's fine, yeah. It's beautiful. Slowly gliding up the street, you see Pequod grabbing Leslie and shaking her inside the store as Blaze grabs Ash's aquamarine stone and some supplies to make sleeping potions. You can infer maybe Pequod cannot find a game man in there. You come up to the stop sign, or you come up to the stoplight, you're coming up, and you hear Hunk yell, "Okay, Julius, it's turning green, or it's turning red, excuse me." What do?
He presses the brake.
You brake gingerly into the crosswalk. Excellent. This is great. I'm so happy for you. Okay, now, one of the hardest parts of the test. Are you ready?
Oh, it's already been so difficult, though.
He puts his arm out, pushes Ash back. Stand back. I don't want anything to happen to you. Hunk stands here. Turn the corner right and go down to the stop sign.
He's not even going to say anything this time.
You just gingerly turn down and you come to a stop right here. And Hunk's standing there watching, clapping. This is great. Okay, he's a natural. Excellent. And it's at this time you hear a siren, just like the Ecto one from Ghostbusters. And it comes out of the parking lot, and it pulls up, and Hunk, oh god, that thing! And it has the digital readout signs, just like on the Ghostbusters, and it says, Arcane Council, we're here for you, for hire, all this ridiculous stuff. And Icy is driving it, and she looks at Ash and smiles.
Well, that's something, isn't it?
He grins, yes it is! And Hunk, I still don't know where the fuck she got this stupid piece of shit. And she looks up at Hunk, I told you! It was my 16th birthday present from the Arcane Council! And he looks shocked, oh god! You used your wish spell on this? And she grins at him, Jesus Christ. Icy puts the car in park and slides over into the passenger seat. Ash? She puts her hand out. Come on in!
Alright, he's gonna get in. Okay.
You get in? Alright, Ash. This is very difficult. People's lives could potentially be on the line. And if you crash this thing and hurt Nicole, you won't make it back to Sarah. This is a wheel. Do you see it? He's doing the same thing he did to Julius.
Yes, I do, sir.
Okay, now refer to your notes. What does D mean?
Drive.
What does R mean?
Reverse.
It's time for the trick question. What does N mean?
Neutral.
You're good. Okay. Icy's just shaking her head and she mumbles, I mostly taught myself how to drive. Songs. Okay. This is what I want you to do. Now, I'm asking a lot. Are you prepared?
Always, sir.
If you want to marry Saris, you're going to have to learn to drive so you can drive her from your wedding. It's kind of a thing people do. You know that?
Blushes. Yes, sir.
I have full faith and confidence in you. I want you. The light is currently red. Take this thing down the opposite direction and stop at the stop sign. Slowly, and he pulls out the radar gun, or miles per hour gun, while maintaining below 15. What does MPH stand for at?
Miles per hour, sir.
Leslie did say you were quick learners. Okay, go ahead. Icy puts her seatbelt on and gestures for you to do the same.
He does.
Wisdom.
All right. Advantage. There we go.
You guys are naturals. So it's Hunk's excellent teaching, I'm sure. But you cruise down and you come to the stop sign and you stop. And you hear Hunk, excellent, Ash. That's what I like to see. He comes all the way down here. Julius, hold your position. All right, Ash. I'm asking a lot of you here. Are you ready?
Always.
You're going to come to a complete stop as you are. You need to make a right-hand turn around here. Can you do it? And he stands over here.
I believe so.
Icy just motions with her finger to turn the wheel a little. All right, Ash. I'm counting on you.
He's gonna try to do it.
Wisdom. And you gingerly fucking come around the corner. Nice! And Hunk is celebrating, fist bumping into the air. That a boy, Ash! I knew that white hair wasn't for nothing.
I imagine he's got like party poppers.
Yeah, whatever, yeah, sparklers. This is great. I thought it was going to be horrible when Leslie, she was supposed to tell you to read the book, but anyway, don't worry about it. Now, let's get some speed going. This is a small town. You should always obey the speed limit. That being said, fuck them. You need to learn. So, put your foot on the gas. Never press it hard. Ease into the gas like you ease into the brake. Understood?
Understood.
Okay. Let's get some speed going. Julius, can you hear me? And he comes over the radio as you're fuming in your car.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Julius, let's pump it. Big time. I want to see 16 miles per hour. No holds barred. Go around the block, both of you.
Yes, sir.
Both wisdoms will end at each other's respective starting point. Oh, you even take the stop sign with you.
Drives over it.
So Julius comes around the fucking block all pissed off next to Hunk. And Hunk, that a boy, Julius, that a boy. Reaches into the car and rubs his shoulder.
Oh my god. I might kill him.
I'm so proud of you, Julius. I can't believe it. You know how many times I failed this test?
Oh, sir, you're so good at teaching. How did you fail?
Oh, I had bad instructors. Lucky for you. You have me.
Mm-hmm. As he rolls up the window and just slams his head onto the steering wheel.
Icy looks over at Ash, and you can go usually like 5 miles above the speed limit, and you won't get tickets, just so you know. Nobody can maintain perfect speed limit all the time, Ash.
Understood. I'd assumed there'd be some leeway.
As Julius is being, serenaded by Hunk and congratulated, Icy is actually teaching you, like, what the windshield wipers are and stuff like that. And she, okay, this is how you turn the heat off. And, okay, this is how you turn the air conditioning on.
Okay. That works. Wonder what he's teaching Julius right now.
Oh, probably annoying him.
Listens, how long do you think he hits his head on the horn?
I don't know. Not long, probably. And at this time... Oh, go ahead, Julius.
They hear the horn.
As Hunk... Oh, see, I forgot to tell you, Julius, that you already knew. That's your horn. If you're ever in trouble, or you need somebody to get out of the way, or you need to get people's attention quickly, you hit the horn. Do it again just to make sure you understand how to do it.
He pushes on the horn.
That was great, Julius. And he stands. He's not leaning into the car anymore. He's clapping for you. I'm so impressed by your aptitude, Julius.
Julius is just mumbling to himself at this point while holding onto the wheel.
All right, Julius. I want to see reels. Julius, have you ever seen that movie? It's Fast and the Furious 4502.
No, I've only seen Fast and the Furious 4501.
Oh, well, they're terrible movies, but I like cars, Julius, and they have cool cars in that movie. There's this guy named Vin Diesel that plays the main character. He's a bald guy, and he's really all about family. If you want, we could go see it someday together. The next one will be out next year.
Oh, that sounds like a blast, Hunk.
Oh, we can go as long as you're still here with the hunters and not out in the galaxy. Who knows? Anyway, whatever. So I want to see some real speed. He steps back. Let's push it. Don't do this all the time, but let's push it to 25, okay? And we'll change starting positions. Ash, did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Icy looks over at Ash. Ash, just ease into the pedal and go for it. Drive with 1 foot, Ash, not 2. Understood?
Understood.
Okay. Wisdoms.
Oh, no!
Yes! Yes! Yes!
At this point, all Hunk hears is real speed, huh?
Okay, no, play that up because this is gonna happen. So Ash makes his way down. You guys pass, but as you're real speeding, I am so fucking thank you, Jesus, the dice gods. Good lord, you're coming through this intersection and you're real speed. And let's say you're like looking back, watching Hunk, you know, like in horror as you're like plowing it down the street, and you're coming to the intersection, and you see a man appear out of nowhere because you were too busy looking at Hunk. And he comes, and you see him, and he's dressed in a white robe. He has a catcher's mask on, a shield with, you wouldn't know, but Jesus' face on it. And he's coming, you're coming right towards him, and you see him, motherfucker, as he sees you coming. And you hear Hunk yell, Julius! Julius, brake for God's sakes! And he's running up the street.
He hits the brakes.
Let's get a dex on that. Okay, so you're able to stop in front of the Saint in time, but he throws himself out of the way. I see Ash, she takes her seatbelt off. I think we should probably go see what happened. And she runs up the
Yeah,
street.
let's go. He's gonna be.
She grabs your hand and teleports you up the street with her.
Oh god.
And you poof up the street. The Saint is picking himself up off the ground. Hunk comes over. Oh, I'm so sorry about that, sir. We're teaching these young people how to drive today. The Saint gets up, motherfucker, puts up his trash can lid, rears back with the tire iron, and Hunk, now relax, buddy. I don't want to have to slit your throat. And the Saint just pushes Hunk out of the way, and walks in front of Julius, who, let's say Julius got out of the car to see if he was okay. Now the Saint is in Julius's face.
Do you have popcorn, Icy?
Icy snaps, and a bag of popcorn appears in front of you, and you're able to catch it before it hits the ground.
All right, I was gonna ask if you were okay, but looks like you are.
You little motherfucker. What do you think you're doing?
Oh, showing my driving instructor real speed, Hunk.
Real speed, you little motherfucker. He's right in your face.
He doesn't back down. He just smiles at him.
You know who I am?
Oh, I don't know, some random crazy guy in a white robe with a picture of some random dude.
I'm saying, that's Jesus!
Oh. Okay.
I'm Saint Guillotine.
Saint. Guillotine.
How dare you laugh at one ordained by God to kill their own son? Hunk, Jesus Christ, I'll be right back. And he starts running into the mall.
Julius stops laughing. I'm sorry?
Ash is recording this at this point.
The Saint, you little motherfucker.
No,
I've
no,
threatened senators before.
that's fine and all. Kill your own who?
My son, Sean Armstrong.
He punches him.
Roll it up.
Julius gonna kill the Saint.
I know I had one made. That doesn't matter. That without the right.
The Saint, you hit him so hard it goes through the old catcher's mask, hits him in the face, and the Saint is now... You hit him all the way back to the stoplight, and he's lying sprawled out in the fucking street. Trash can lid went flying. Pieces of the mask went flying. The tire iron went flying. Icy runs over and picks up the tire iron. And comes back over to Ash.
That was magnificent.
Leslie, you hear her coming. Hunk's dragging her. And Hunk, oh, well, we have a problem. Julius almost ran over some guy named Guillotine Saint Lord. And Leslie comes out. Is that him? Points to this guy sprawled out. Hunk, what the hell happened?
He fell.
Fell
Jeez.
right down.
Leslie looks over at Hunk. Hunk looks at her. Looks like Julius took care of it. Here. She picks him up and chucks the poor Saint off the map into some random dumpster. Back to it then. Oh, and Julius, before she goes back in, there's a Game Man 3000 here. You want to know how much it costs? 45,000 credits, which I know you don't have.
Alright, wait, we can make a deal.
I'll be in here when you're done running over pedestrians, Julius.
Well, looks like you're gonna have to grovel. Oh, and you need to hold up your end of the bargain.
Yeah, I know. Shut up. Drive.
Hunk, well, I didn't even see where that guy came from. I can't really hold that against you, Julius. That was some good driving. I think you guys have the basics, so you could probably safely drive around small cities. Driving in the big city may be a different story, but the only way you really get used to it is to do it. Hover cars, different story. You don't need to worry about that. The final portion of the test is parallel parking.
Okay.
Icy snaps her fingers and two poorly drawn cars appear. She snaps another one and a third car appears and she plays out what parallel parking is with her little drawing for both of you. So pretty much two cars, you want to just back in and park in between them.
Seems simple.
And Hunk, oh no, it's not simple. This takes the highest levels of dexterity, training, concentration, grit, willpower. This is the hardest thing a grown man can do.
All of which you don't have.
He looks over at Julius. Relax, tough guy. Alright. Here we go. Now, he gets in Julius's car. You guys walk down the street, and I'm going to demonstrate how this is done. Meet me, and he points down here.
Alright.
So as he's driving, Icy just teleports you guys down. As he's driving down the street, you notice he's driving in the oncoming traffic lane. The wrong lane. So you guys are sitting here. You can... He's gonna try to park between these two cars. He comes down in the wrong lane. He pulls up here, and he's in the car telling you, okay, now it's very simple, but at the same time overly complicated. So what you want to do is turn your wheel. Do you remember what the wheel is, Julius?
Yes.
You want to turn the wheel in the direction you want the car to go, but you have to be in R. Do we remember what R stands for?
Reverse.
Julius, you're a quick study. And now it's very simple. You line up your wheel, pull the car up here, line up your back window with the car that you're trying to get between, and you come in. Like so. Nice and slow. Crashes into this car. Easy now. Everybody has a fender bender every now and then, Julius. Crashes into this car. And then you just gently back up, and he gets out of the car, and that's it. And he looks at the two rent-a-cars. Oof. Well, like I said, everybody has a fender bender every now and then.
Oh my god. This is the person who taught me how to drive.
Icy just kind of shrugs and looks at him. And now, let's try with Icy's retarded car. Yes? Ash, you first.
Understood. Gets in.
He gets in the car, moves it away, stands with Julius, puts his arm around Julius's shoulder.
Gets in the car.
Alright, Ash. Remember what I taught you.
I remember, sir. Wisdom?
Yeah. Good enough! Park it like a champ. Icy's clapping for you with a big smile on her face. Hunk, that was great. And you didn't even hit the other cars.
Yeah, I'd say it went well.
Alright, pull it back out and let Julius go in. And Hunk begins massaging Julius's shoulder. You can do this, Julius. Trust me.
He takes Hunk's hands off his shoulders. Thank you so much, Hunk.
Oh, you're welcome. Now, Ash is going to pull out here, and Ash, you get out of the car. Hunk high fives Ash as he comes out. All right, Julius, get in there and show us what you're made of.
As he gets in, he's mumbling to himself. He's being nice. He's being nice. Be nice back.
All right, Julius, this is it. This is for all the marbles. Good enough. You pull in. It takes you a couple tries, both of you, because nobody's that good at first time they parallel park. You get in, and you don't hit any of the other cars. Icy claps for Julius and Hunk. Well, I guess. What did I do? And he looks down at Icy and moves closer. What did I can't remember how I taught you how to drive. The whole course is a blank to me. And Icy, they pass! And he, yeah, sure, whatever. Pass! And he types on his wrist computer. And well, your driver's license will be mailed to you in 2 to 4 business months.
Sounds good.
That was great. I didn't think you could do it, Ash, but you proved me wrong. And Icy moves out of the way. Hunk runs up and gives Julius the side hug that Ash likes to give people. Come here, man. And he hugs Julius.
A joy.
Oh, God.
You're moving up in the world, both of you, as he lets go of Julius. I'm very proud of you. This is step 1 into becoming men. Real men.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, would you look at that? They're going to send your temporary driver's license in 2 to 4 business weeks.
Perfect.
That's great. I'm in shock. And you didn't even read the manual.
I mean, we had such a good teacher.
Oh, I agree. How about I buy you boys an ice cream?
Sure.
And you go into the mall. And as you guys walk up together, Pequod is shaking Leslie's arm, and she's just shaking her head at Pequod. And Hunk, oh, well, I'll go get the ice cream and avoid the women drama. Yeah. And he walks off.
You have fun haggling. I'm gonna go see how Blaze is doing.
He's right next to her.
He's gonna sit by Blaze. How are you?
Icy takes Ash's hand and walks with him. She's following you.
What do you want to do?
Hmm?
Alright. Hey, Blaze.
Sir? Acquired. And he hands you your 2 gemstones. Various sizes.
Thank you. I'll get you paid back immediately. Give me a moment. How much did this cost you?
He closes your fist if you had it open on the house.
Calm now. At least let me pay a little back.
You'll repay in kind when we make your weapons together. It has been a long time since I've had a partner to make my weapons with. Have you ever seen Hunk Skalil?
Yes, I have.
That was the last weapon I had the luxury of forging years ago.
It's a beautiful piece. The craftsmanship is unlike any I've seen. Puts mine to shame.
Well, fear not, we will put it to shame with your 2 pistols.
I hope so. Oh, I'm gonna have to start on the smelting process once we get back.
I will assist you in any way I can.
Thank you. It's been a while since I've cast something, and I know silver can sometimes be finicky to work with.
Together, we shall persevere. By the way, did you pass your test? As he sees Hunk fumbling with ice cream.
Yes, we did. Yes,
That was... He looks at his wrist computer, less than 20 minutes. Did you really take a test?
Did we, Icy?
And Icy kind of... He said you passed, that's all that matters,
I didn't run anybody over.
Blaze laughs, and down here, Pequod is crying to Leslie, begging her to buy her the Game Man 3000, and Leslie says, that's why you have a boyfriend.
Pequod, I need to talk to Leslie in private, please.
Pequod puts her fist to Julius, you better get me this, as a nice, cute, attractive Asian receptionist comes up. Doing her business. Imagine there's like robots, not exoframes, just like little robots like Star Wars around the store that help her. And she shakes her fist at Julius one more time, wraps the scarf around her mouth, and walks away. And she goes to Hunk because she sees Hunk with ice cream and starts taking some of the ice cream from him.
Alright. What can I possibly do to get you to get the game system for me?
She raises an eyebrow. How much money do you have?
How much money? What do you have?
We're gonna say the Game Man 3000's 4,000 or 40. I don't know. I don't want to be too mean. I'm gonna retcon whatever I said it was earlier because I don't want to be a complete dick about it. It's gonna be 20,000 credits, and we'll say you have 10,000.
Alright. I have 10,000 say. If you can do the other 10,000, I will throw in something additional. Anything
Such
else.
as?
Well, I'm pretty good with alchemy. Any kind of potion or poison you would want that I would have access to in my capabilities, I could make you.
Okay.
Other than that, you can always just kick my ass for free. None of my measly hits back. Let's see here. Either that, or I could just pay you back the 10,000.
She tilts her head to you. When you joined EarthGov, you go through basic training. Whether you wanted to or not, you signed your 5-year contract. That 5 years covers training, tour of duty, schooling, whatever you're doing within EarthGov. I'll buy it for you. You don't have to pay 1 cent. But when the time comes, you'll renew your contract and stay in EarthGov service. Let's face it, Julius. She looks at you. What would you do outside the military? I understand the bad boy persona. I understand you've had things happen to you in the past. But much like Ash, you just need to grow up. You have a very good thing. She looks at Pequod and nods over to her. Going here. Why would you ever spoil that just because you don't like saying yes sir, no sir, or doing things you may or may not want to do?
Yeah, you're right. I would probably just end up in jail anyway.
She shakes her head. No, I don't think you'd end up in jail. As she puts the credits down and the Asian lady starts wrapping up the box, and And she, no, wait, and she puts more credits down. All the games for that stupid thing, please. And the Asian lady, yes, ma'am! And starts wrapping up the game. You wouldn't end up in jail, but you'd end up wasting your potential. You'd be standing outside a bar, playing bouncer. You'd be standing next to some Max Tech suit, playing bodyguard, or worse, in Max Tech armor, a commando. And at that point, you wouldn't want to be on my wrong side, as she puts her arm on your shoulder and squeezes tight.
Yeah, that's probably true.
You'd waste your potential, Julius.
He can't believe I'm about to do this. He chuckles to himself. Yeah, thanks, Mom. Ma'am.
She smiles. Deal. Looks over at Ash, besides he won't get far without you. And points over at Ash, over her shoulder, who is playing with Icy. Icy is showing Ash the game, man.
No
How do I
clue.
know that?
The lady comes up with all the games. It's just like 10 games. And the game man. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, you paid for this. You spent your life savings since you've come into EarthGov to buy her. And you see Pequod eating ice cream. And Hunk's like, slow down, you'll get brain freeze. And that's the story we'll stick to.
Agreed.
Good boy. And she pats you on your cheek. All right, you passed your test. Let's get out of here. Go give your game man to Sweetheart. Blaze, yes. Come on, Ash and the young Icy. And they take you out. And Hunk and Pequod are up here. And the lady who's behind the counter, good day, sir, and disappeared. Downstairs.
He walks up.
At this time, Hunk is trying to pull a milkshake out of Pequod's hand. You'll get brain freeze. This is for your own good. Oh, hey, Julia.
You might want to let go of the milkshake. She'll kill you.
Yeah, probably. Here you go. Hands it back to her. All right, I'm very proud of you, Julius. I can't tell you. And he reaches in for a full-blown hug on Julius, and Pequod starts laughing.
You know what? As much as he's playing it up that he doesn't like it, he'll hug him back.
Pequod's still laughing, and Hunk, we'll go see that movie together next time I'm back on Earth. And he walks out and catches up to Lazuli and the other.
Alright, Pequod. Close your eyes.
He closes them, but she's holding her forehead because she does have brain freeze.
He chuckles and just puts the box in her hand.
She opens it, revealing the Game Man 3,000, and all the other games. Some games she wanted, some she didn't, but either way, she looks at you shocked. How could you afford this?
Well, my life savings.
You gave away your life savings?
Maybe.
For me?
Oh, and they love you that much?
She sets the Game Man down gingerly, being that it's very expensive, and the game, and hugs you, Julius, and presses right up against you and says the words that it's a good way of sealing one's fate, but seals your fate with her forever. Now you're never getting rid of me, Julius.
No? Well, I wasn't trying to.
And I think that's a good note to end on for the week.
Me
That
too.
was fun.